Well, at least this way, when I jump on, no one jumps because you can see my face. How's it going? My name is William, and welcome to my so-called life. It is busy. I just had a great time on Rashawn's stream. I'm critically drinking, and you know what's funny? I had the day off. My son did not have his class, and I'm still a little bit disorganized. Welcome to my so-called life. I hope everybody's having a great evening. Alibaba, it is great to see you. Let me get my phone. I should be watching my own stream. Awesome. It's true. Death Star fashion powering up. Absolutely. I'm all hyped up because I came from a great stream, and I'm pumped full of a bunch of coffee. So I can't even be like all. I can't even be all. There's no suspense. I bought a dress form. In my meandering around the valley, I found this beautiful dress form for $24. Dress forms in general can go anywhere from like $30 to 900, if not more. I kind of scored on this one. It's an older padded dress form. Waterday pointed out the fact, you know, my lovely co-host is so logical. She asked me, what size is it? And I was like, does it matter? But eventually I'm going to pat it to my size. But right now, I was really excited because in one of my impulsive buys, I bought a Lycra cover. So it covered that thing up. Hello, Gilroy. Damn, ground beef was still frozen after a day in the fridge. So now it's in the sink in hot water. Try to speed it up. Do you know what's really funny? In my state, that's illegal. As far as like if you're in a restaurant. Great to see you. Kilroy will be cooking this evening here in the House of Sewing. And you know, I want to welcome everybody who's recently subscribed. I absolutely thank you. And I say this not in jest, but I couldn't do this without all of you guys. So I absolutely thank you. But before I get started, I come with a disclaimer because sometimes it's just better that way. This program is for entertainment purposes only, and its content is not intended to malign any religion, lack thereof, race, company, individual, or wigs. All opinions expressed by my so-called life and program participants are solely their personal views and do not reflect the views of every single human being on planet Earth. And I thank you. Awesome. So I actually have made quite a few things. And tonight I'm thinking about making something else with a Walmart oopsie. But my simplicity pattern is turning into my Mimi G pattern where I'm gonna end up having 90 of the same thing. So it's gonna be interesting. Awesome. Oh, it's taco night. I have a jar of taco sauce and hot sauce too. Want to see if it's heating up, make it taste better. It's definitely. Now I'm craving tacos. Thank you, Gilroy. Thank you. All right, let me jump to my notes. Do you know there's still all kinds of amazing ideas like the sewing the book cover, all of those things. I need to dig out my Morris sewing machine. I'm trying to remember where it is. Someone recently asked me to put it in a video, and I'm looking for it right now, and I cannot find that thing. I have to take my glasses off because it is just steamy in here. I'm not trying to rub it in. Everybody knows where I live because I say it over and over, but it was like 70 degrees today. Alexa, what's the temperature right now?
Good evening, William. Right now, it's 62 degrees Fahrenheit.
It is 62 degrees and I am sweating in here. Awesome. Awesome. Never the same thing. I do not see it in the same way from what I've seen so far. Each one is different. Each if the same way cut, they aren't quite the same also. I love tacos. I wish it was 62 here. My body acclimated, like I got used to the colder weather. And California, there is no switch. It just drops off. Today it was 76 degrees when I was driving my son to school. He has a couple afternoon classes, and when I was driving him there, I had to laugh because I have a black car, and usually the thermometer on it it'll go down. And as I was driving, it was like, no, it is 76 degrees right now. It felt like summer, but again, I'm not ready for the heat. I'm not ready for the heat yet. All right, awesome, awesome. So I actually made that shirt yesterday. I've been doing massive filming because I've been painting my bathroom. I'm all over the place. And let me check something really quick. Perfect. And then let me make sure I sent the proper thing. Beautiful. There we go. All right. So I really want to make another one. Thank you, Alibaba, for pointing out that they are different because I do not cut the hood in the same in any way, shape, or form. So they pretty much are different, every single one of them. Um, I was thinking about using this Walmart oopsie because of the material. The yellow that I made, I'll put it on in a minute, but it's still really early. The Hey, hello, hello. How are you doing? You know, the next pet I have, I'm going to name it Santa Ana. I'm definitely going to make a shirt out of this oopsie. I'm trying to chop the pile down, and the only way that I can not do that is by not going to the store. Because every time I go to the store, I end up buying an oopsie. I really I really wanted to make something out of this, but it's not the most desirable material. And let's be real, I purchased this because it was $3.60 and it's a mass amount of fabric. This is something that I should use more or less for lining, or for something that's like deep in a jacket arm or something like that. All right, yeah. Hello, hello. Sounds like a windy pet. Yikes. It's and I'm so glad that Waterday brought up the Santa Anas. If you hear a weird creaking, my sewing room is in my garage, and the garage fan is above my head, and that thing squeaks. And no matter how much I grease it, I purchased a brand new one after the plague. It was just as squeaky. It's literally just shaking because it's so windy. It's just spinning that thing. So if you hear any squeaking, it's the vent that's like directly above my head. All right. Hello, hello. Yeah, hello, everybody. Great to see everybody. Hey, somebody's got to buy the oopsies. You're performing a public service. Do you know? Okay. I know I constantly talk about certain things, but it's what I do in my life. And it's the little things that make life hilarious. When I go to my local Walmart, the greeters do not greet people. They just stand there. Am I am am I being weird? Like I look at them too. Like, are you gonna say something to me? And at first I thought it was me. At first I was like, you know what? It's me. They do not say that to anybody. It's become a thing in my town where they hire people just to stand at the front door and stare at you. It's the strangest thing because we have a newer mega Walmart. And when I say mega, it is the size of 4 regular Walmart, and it has a Sam's Club in it. It's huge. Hey, somebody's okay. We read that. They quit with the greeters at my local Walmarts. It's the strangest thing. I'm an awkward human. I understand awkward interactions. I get it. I'm one of those people that like second guess and overthink everything. But when I walk into my local Walmart, they're just sitting there like, it's weird. And like I said, I took it personal, but I have some extremely yuppie friends, and they were like, nah, man, they don't say anything to me either. Ah, but first world problems. May that be my only problem of the evening, right? I want that job. Can I be overpaid? Well, I'm sure they're not overpaid, but can I just stand there for 12 hours a day? Oh man. So I ordered a new cover for well, I had to take the cover off of that mannequin to put it on the other one, but it made me laugh because I thought I was buying a dress form, and instead I was buying a lycra cover, and I ended up actually needing it. So it all worked out in the end. I'm really excited about having a dress form. Um, like my lovely co-host pointed out, it is not the size as I am. But let's be real. Like if I just did this, I'm the same. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm definitely gonna have to pad it. But before I start adding on to it, I really want to look into what to add to it before I start messing around with it. Because this thing definitely has seen better days. And if I didn't have the cover, I would have had to make one because the foam was so trashed that I can tell that it was around my age. It isn't the size of the boat, it's the motion. Oh, now I got Billy Ocean stuck in my head. I still kind of want I have so many projects in mind. I'm all over the place. I still want to work on the half hoodie with basically it's that weird drape, fancy drape material. I still have a little bit of it left, but I do not know if I have enough to make something out of it though. So that's why I'm reluctant because I don't want to start cutting into it and then not have enough. But it's not like I don't have enough material in here to figure it out. The foam degrades over time, definitely. I have professional foam at my job, but it's not necessarily made for commercial use. It's made to fix major mistakes and then shape around it. So I don't know if it's good for a dress form, but it's more commercial stuff that I have to fix real life oopsies when you're on the job site and you end up smashing something, and it's basically professional foam that you can shape into anything. I still might give it a try. I still might give it a go. All right, let's see. I absolutely love the table, but we're gonna see. It's awkward sewing on this table, but I like this setting more than being up close, but it's easier up close because everything's right there. Oh, this is already folded where I need it to be. I think I got this month. Let me cover my address. I got this month's Scientific American. I am stoked. They're trying to dispel the myth of AI. I'm excited about that. Real Life Oopsies is the name of my next ska band. Oh, I like it. I like it. I'll buy that album. I'll definitely buy that album. Well, there's a difference at my job. Like there was a somebody who they took a tractor arm and they took down a chain link fence. That's an oopsie. Like oopsie, because they could get put right back up. Somebody backed into an oak tree, and that was their last day. Some oopsies can't be forgiven. Wow, that was so long ago. That was so long ago that I can actually talk about it. Oh, only available on 8-track. Hey, I said, actually, you know what? I have certain conversations and sometimes I confuse them with being online and offline. I still have a working 8-track player at my job ready to go. So no matter what it's on, I'm ready. All right. Gotta make sure it's still folded on both sides. Where is the edge? Here we go. Perfect. Perfect. I have to move some of this because I have so much crud on here. You know what? I hope everybody is having a good evening. I had a great time on Rashawn's stream. I love talking about music. It's a passion of mine. Um, I play, but I am not, I'm one of those people who needs to sit down and practice more. I have an acoustic guitar. I have two banjos. Some would argue I only have one because I have a 6-string banjo, which is basically half a banjo, half a guitar. But I have a good time talking about music. It's nothing but love. So I had a great time over there, critically drinking, or like that scene in Office Space where the guy gets T-boned by the drunk driver. That's an oopsie. Well, if you survive, it's an oopsie. And you know what's funny? We always say umpa because all of us have seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding too many times, way too many times. So it's a bunch of grown men saying that every time something breaks. And it's funny, not funny, because when it's not you, you're like umpa. But when it's you, you're like, uh-oh, I'm about to get clowned right now. All right, I got to pull this in so the fabric doesn't fall off. I could get some clamps in here. I wonder if I have any ones that are like not commercial grade. Let me look. I wonder how dusty and greasy my clamp is. We're gonna definitely Lysol this before we put it on some fabric. Yay! Hello, Joy. Hello. I had a busy thinking day today. Geology of Iceland eruption and the Singer transitional line in 1886 for the VS2. Yay! Hello, Joy. Great to see you. Yay! I'm choosing to use this clamp to hold down my fabric because it's fallen off the table. See, that's why it's good to have professional grade stuff in your sewing room because you never know when you're going to need an industrial clamp to hold stuff down. And I don't have Windex handy, but I have Lysol wipes for everything. So we're going to let this dry. Yay, hello. Great to see everybody. I hope everyone's doing well. It's been a awesome day. I kind of had some time off. I was hanging out at Critically Drinking, and it's funny how my son did not go to his class today, and I ended up still barely making it to my own stream. Procrastination is an art form, an absolute art form. Oh, right. Man, this clamp has seen some hardcore things. So this fabric on this clamp is going to be funny. But I on the other side, I have all my rollaway toolboxes and a ton of actual tools. I won't only buy from industrial suppliers anymore. Consumer grade tools are junk nowadays. You're not kidding you. This was probably purchased when I was in high school. This has gone on countless trips. This has gone out of state. This has gone just countless job sites, and it's still here in the same condition. And this handle is wood, and it's not split or anything. And this is probably 20, 25, 30 something years old. Yay. Hello, Dixie. Great to see you. Hello, hello. Awesome. I get used for industrial years tool. I get used industrial for years tool. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yay. Hello, hello. How's it going, Dixie? Great to see you. Great to see you. Awesome. Awesome. All right. I think that's clean enough. We're just going to catch a corner on this. I need it where I can negotiate. Perfect. That fabric is not going anywhere. You know, I say this all the time. I have no idea what took me so long to figure that out. Yay. Hello, hello. You know, one day soon, I promise you, I'm going to put my glasses on. I hope everyone's doing well. I thank you for joining me. I appreciate everyone who's here. Anyone who watches this in the future, all my Latvian peeps, you guys have been coming through. So I absolutely thank everyone. Plus, industrial suppliers are easy to do business with. None of the BS song and dance that Home Depot and Lowe's put you through. That is never a truer statement here in the house. Do you know there's certain things I avoid at I have a Lowe's account, so there's certain things I avoid at Lowe's because I end up explaining to the person who works there the purpose of the thing that I'm asking them for, that they have no idea what I'm talking about. A little frustration, just a little. Yeah, right. You will not. Yay, Joy's here. Yay. Joy's over there telling the absolute truth. That works just the same as screwing bird if you mount a pin cushion on a cheap clamp. I need to know these weird hacks. I need to know these weird. Joy, I absolutely. You put a smile on my face. I absolutely. You do. Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, let me get my pattern. And start cutting. It's been a long day. Screwing left alone. He said sewing. Oh. All right, this is going to be a bit of an odd cut. I have a feeling. You know what? I think I'm going to have to my son, he looks at me when I'm like, "Hey, can you help me?" He's like, "Do we have to fold fabric?" Yes, we do. I should probably just add McCaster Kerr as a development on my taxes at this point. Absolutely, you do need the glasses. I do. I am so blind without my glasses. Give me one quick second. Oh. Isaiah. Can you come help me real quick? Okay. Hey, and my mic's on, so don't say anything too obscene. Okay, grab that in. We want to fold it the long way. All right. Okay, back up. Perfect. And I want the fuzzy side on the inside. All right. Well, I don't know if it's fuzzy, but there's definitely a front and a back to this. Perfect. All right, back up as much as you can. We want it like this. Like this. You see how I have it? Oh, fold it. There you go. Okay. So grab that side like that. Perfect. And here we'll do this. Perfect. Now bring it over here, kind of. Yeah, let me grab that. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Oh. Okay, that's better. That's better. Sorry, I had to employ young Mr. Sewing for a minute, and I put that over my mouth. Perfect. I had to catch the edge because if I don't, I'm going to end up just fighting the fabric, and I need the fold to cut because basically, the pattern comes and you cut it on two pieces, as we all know. And if you don't know, just ask me and I'll let you know. So use the damn thing. You're just making your eyes worse if you don't. I have no idea what you're talking about, Joy. I put on your glasses so no more birds get screwed. That is long enough to make a sleeping bag for a giant boa constrictor. See, this is legitimately 4 yards. Sometimes at Walmart, their oopsies are like, hey, did you drop out right at math class? Did you just not go to math class? Some of those oopsies are a mess, but this is 4 yards. Sir, you are holding the phone 4 inches from your face. See, but this is what we need on a Monday night. We need laughs and fun. But do you know at this point, this guy and we are buddies. I need to find out. On most of the patterns, you can find out who the human on the pattern is. This guy and I, we hang out all the time. This has become my Mimi G R11407. This is my pattern of the year. I have to get in because I'm going to find this exact print. I want this print on this pattern. Look how happy that guy is. All right. Oh, that is a little bit better, actually. Yay! Speak for yourself. I don't need 4 inches on Monday night. Sometimes, hey, that 4-inch guy, he'll fight a bear. That 4-inch guy will take you out to dinner and never make you pay. That 4-incher will love you for life. Don't shake your fist at that 4-inch guy. That 4-inch guy has a steady job. Oh, I don't even need my phone at this point. His beard looks like they used that hairspray. I am definitely in the AstroTurf phase of my beard. I waffle back and forth. Um, with my beard, and the hair grows so fast on my face that I can make hasty decisions and shave it off. Okay, so now is the time to clamp this. After all that drama, young Mr. Sewing made a special guest appearance. I have the scorpion stuck in my head again. Here we go again. Why don't you feel as tight, though? That's weird. What am I on? we go. Okay. Beautiful. As I drop my phone. Welcome to my so-called life, the house of innuendos and bad jokes. Don't forget to tip your waitress. I will be playing the role of Don Rickles this evening. And while we're sitting here, don't forget that kid just stole your hubcaps. That is a real Don Rickles joke, but I took the race of the person he said out of it because Don Rickles said a race of a particular person. Okay. All right, let me get my pens. I have to take in consideration that I have two mats here. Looks like that dummy back there is smocking it. I should put that on. We should get an early reveal. I made that yesterday. I've been filming earlier and earlier because sometimes I feel like I'm scrambling on like a Wednesday or a Thursday to make a Friday so I've been trying to make my film myself earlier and earlier, and sometimes on Saturdays I don't have time, or on Sundays, well, no, Saturdays I do have time, so I've been sewing more. That's what I'm trying to stammer out. Awesome. Oh, I have like 4 or 5 songs stuck in my head right now. Beautiful. But this is Simplicity Pattern S9158. I've been using it for a while now, and it has slowly become my go-to. Their large is the exact same size as I am, so whoever made this was around my size, or as far as the dimensions go, like it's perfect. And there's a certain look that I'm going for and a certain look that I love. So this has definitely become my go-to shirt pattern as a base. This is something that I would use as a base. The Mimi G pattern is much more wide because it's made for a jacket. And so because, the intention is for a jacket, it gives you a lot more space. This is for a shirt, so it's made to be even tighter than when I make it, but it's perfect for what I intend it for. Have you ever seen a placket? Oh, at the neckline. Yes, I have. Did you say seen? Have you ever sewn? Do you know what's funny? With or without my glasses, I am blind. I think it's time to go back to the eye doctor. Yes, I have, but because of my impatience, I skip about 15 steps. That's why there's someone I absolutely love and respect. Every time I cut out patterns around them, they're like, aren't you gonna cut out all of the patterns? And I'm like, I don't need those pieces. And they're like, yes, you do. Good times. Good times here in the House of Sewing. I actually do know the proper way to sew things. It's just my natural impatience that once I figure out the base of how to make something, I go straight to pirate sewing. Yes, and get some frames you'll wear. Not all glasses are birth control glasses. I'm gonna, you know what? I say it every week. Disclaimer. These glasses are United States Army standard issue. If you have a problem with my glasses, you have a problem with the United States of America. Dun 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 dun. And you know what? They probably don't even use these frames anymore. But every person before 2000 and something, wherever I purchased these frames, these are standard USA Army frames. Even laugh out loud, was just wondering, as I have not seen any of that you have done. No, that's Joy. That is an extremely logical question. It's my natural impatience. Like, When and the funny thing is, I actually get paid to make clothes. When someone pays me, I do not skip a step. I add everything that I need to. But when I'm doing it for myself, there's a certain feel and a certain way. And then somebody suggested that I actually go and get a working serger, and the serger changed my life. Because of my natural impatience, the serger it's perfect. Because even if I miscut something, I'm just like, oh, I'll fix it in the serger. Oh, yay. They call them birth control glasses in the army. That's where the term comes from. I know. For the better. Yay. I had a problem with your glasses, but you hang on, I'm going to come on and tell you in Spanish. Yeah, because I need you to come on and read the comments too. It's been a long day. It's been a long, beautiful day, actually. I have nothing too hardcore to gripe about. Hello, Von Bryant. Hello. Great to see you. Welcome. You are welcome here in the House of Sewing. Everybody say hello to Von Bryant. He's from Critically Drinking. Awesome. Awesome. Welcome. I should put my glasses on. And at this point, it's not even vanity. It's just I'm so used to not wearing my glasses anymore. So it's kind of turned into a habit. It's really turned into one of those things where I just don't put them on. But I'm not reckless. When I drive anywhere, I put my glasses on because I'm not anti people like that. If I was an angry individual, I could drive around with my glasses off. Hello, great to see you. Awesome. But the older I get, I can see less and less and less. Let's be real. Let's be real. Yeah, hello, butterfly. Hello. Yeah, great to see you. Great to see you. Awesome. I sat down without any of my the materials that I need. I was having such a good time. Like I said, music is an absolute passion of mine. So going on Critically Drinking, I love talking about any genre of music that I know about or learning about things that I don't know about. I'm all here for that. So great times. Great times. Yeah, hello everybody. I'm glad everybody's here. Even though it's Monday, we don't have to act like it. Like I said, my son kind of shocked me. He's like, "Oh, they're rebuilding." My son's MMA class. His coach is making a ton of money, so he's rented the place next door, and this man built a boxing ring, and he's gonna build an MMA cage in there. So they're doing all that today, so we get a day off. So I'm excited. I like that. I like to eat salsa too. Oh, now I'm craving salsa. Now I'm definitely craving salsa. All right. So I'm definitely using simplicity pattern S9 158. And like I said, I'm not kidding you. I'm gonna find this guy's I'm gonna find that shirt. I could grow that beard in like a week too. I could seriously grow that beard in less than a week. Oh, that's funny. All right. There's nothing wrong with trying something for the first time. I like to step out of my boundaries sometimes as far as food goes. you know, um that because of that, that's how I fell in love with Filipino food, Armenian food, Thai food, Indian food, just testing things out. And I'm semi allergic to everything. And none of it did I get sick from any of it? No. I hope this is a cutter with a decent blade. I have quite a collection of fabric cutters with dull blades at this point. And I have a backup, but I need to replace it and then mark it, like the date that I put the blade on. Or I should throw away all the broken ones. You're much better looking than that guy, William. Flattery will get you everywhere, Dixie Doodle. Thank you very much. I'm just not a fan of my glasses. Now I definitely want tacos tomorrow. Seriously, all this taco talk is making me crave tacos. And thank you, Dixie. Let's go back to that comment. I needed that. I just need to get used to wearing them, I guess. Yeah. They do make blade sharpeners for them. I need to get one because I am one of those people. I don't like wasting things, and that's where my hoarding and conserving clash. Because after a while, like if I showed you how many I have in that drawer, it's almost embarrassing. And in my head, I'm saving the planet, but really I'm just hoarding fabric cutters. This new sexy stud in the glasses is so nice to look at, Dixie. Flattery. Like I said, flattery will get you everywhere. I knew someone that used to say that, and I thought that was slick. So I'm stealing that from an old friend. Taco Talk sounds like a food show I'd watch. I could do that. I live in the land of food trucks. In LA, there are food trucks everywhere to the point where after a certain time in the parking lot of the Goodwill by my house, these people, I don't even know if they have a permit, but it's LA, so it's whatever. They show up and they just start making tacos. And there's a huge crowd there. And I'll never forget, after a class one night, I looked at my son. I was like, let's go to the Goodwill. He's like, let's go. In the parking lot, we see people making tacos. He looked at me and he was like, pull over. They're making tacos. And they were, of course, the greatest thing I've ever had because they were made in a parking lot on a on a flat burner. Oh, let me read all Bob's comment. I had to get instant noodles to stop the taco craving. I don't have any taco stuff right now. That's not a bad idea either. I just bought I bought like rows and rows of instant noodles because I'm getting back into them. My son cooks them all the time, and so they're affordable. So I went when I went shopping. I laugh. People must think I'm crazy when I go shopping because I don't want to come back. I bought four rows of it, so I have noodles for a while. Yeah, I have a few cutters too. Thank you, Joy. You're making me feel better. You're making me feel better. The thing is, I don't know what to do with them because they still kind of work. But because I was using it on a wrong surface, some of them get flat spots, or they just get dull over time because I'm pushing, I'm pushing for a gold medal. Thrifted them. Oh, here, let me StreamYards, if you are spying on me, your links have just been awful lately. I'm gonna send you one right now. Let's see if that works. StreamYards, I'm looking at you. Awesome. I have like 3 or 4 different songs stuck in my head. Do you know what's so funny? When I put my glasses on, I can actually see everything in this room. Here's a great taco soup recipe. Awesome. Need the self-healing mat for rotary cutters to protect your blades. Definitely. Absolutely. And that's the problem with my impatience is that um the one that I wanted that was the size of this table just wouldn't come in time. So I ended up getting these. I don't even see a link. Oh, I sent it to Waternay on Instagram. Let me know if that works or not. Because StreamYards has been driving me crazy. Just live your best life. Buy a case of blades and cut them on whatever you want. Sexy William. Thank you. Thank you, Kilroy. Like I said, battery will get you everywhere. I keep on forgetting I still have my glasses on. Highlight that
Hola, guapo.
one.
Me gusta
Gracias.
mucho los grafos.
Gracias, guapa. I could get drippy in Spanish. You know Spanish is real. Like I had to stop myself because I get started saying "ay muñeca." Do you know? I always thought that was strange when someone's like, "Oh my doll, my love." Like if you say what two people in love say in Spanish, in English, it's drippy. It's like, did you really just say that?
Well, anytime you have like special coupley terms of endearment, it sounds pretty ridiculous if you're not one of the parties talking to each other.
It's crazy, and Italian's the same way. You know, the love languages, as they used to say.
I watch the Pacinis, and they had, he's Italian and like very Italian. And they call each other amore, and they had a whole discussion about it. They're like, why would you use the name? You're amore. They're a cute couple. I like to watch them.
It's funny that way. I knew a man who his real name was Mark Guido. That was his last name. He opened up a restaurant. That's the only reason I can say his real name is because I worked for him in college. He had a restaurant in Mesa, Arizona. And I used to ask him all the time, like, isn't that a stereotype? And he'd look at me and be like, dude, that is literally my name. Like, what can I do but play into it, you know?
I mean, sometimes stereotypes come around for a reason. If you have a lot of people named John Smith, then
to be fair, and I'm saying this to be funny and fair, who isn't named John Smith? That's like in on my side of town, it's like if your name is Mohammed or Jose Martinez. Or like, you know what I'm saying? Like that is such a common name, or Hernandez or something, you know.
Yeah.
That is definitely the new John Smith.
Oh, which one, Dixie? Which Absolutely. One did because I had a couple lately. So which one did you try that you liked?
Our co-host is civilizing the House of Sewing.
Sorry, I got
sidetracked. No, I told you. Consider me a real life feral human just rescued from the woods.
I have squirrel tendencies sometimes, and it's been a day. Like, not because anything went horribly wrong. I'm just struggling today to, stay on task.
I totally get it. I sat in Rashawn's stream and drank basically 2 of these, which is a pot of coffee, and then I refilled it.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm flying right now.
You're not gonna get any sleep tonight.
Well, at least I'll get some sewing done.
There you go.
And I still have a ton of... There goes my mouse. I still have a ton of laundry to do, too.
I've been catching up. I have a friend, and she's very kind to me because she knows that I have some fatigue issues, and she is like a magic folder. She folds things so quickly, and they're still like, they're not like quick and sloppy. They're like all like uniform in size and tidy looking. And she'll come to visit me and she'll say, "Do you have any laundry that needs folding?" And I'm like, "Really? Yes, there's a pile right here."
Is she looking for new friends? I'll cry. I am not above crying. I am not above crying at all. I am shameless in that sense.
Ah, the Yogi Lavender Stress. Yeah, maybe I should have some of that today. Yeah, I like the Yogi teas. They have such nice flavor profiles.
And Butterfly, this is a Walmart oopsie because I have a problem with Walmart oopsies. And so I'm trying to cut down the pile because every time I go to the store, I buy one. It's an obsessive habit. Oh, geez. Or Jesus Gonzalez. Kilroy, you're not kidding you. I've known at least 4 or 5 people who will fight you if you do not call them Jesus. And one was African American. He's like, "My name is not Jesus. It is Jesus." So I'm like, okay, no difference, but
A friend of mine was giving an update on a friend of hers, and I'd met this person, so she was telling me how she was doing, and she'd gotten a letter from her, and she showed me the letter, and the person said, "Oh, well, I'm off and kind of missing my friends. I've been talking to Jesus a lot." And I'm like, "Talking to Jesus? Well, that seemed unusual for what I knew about this person." And then I remembered that her boyfriend's name was Jesus.
see, around here you got to be careful with that name. There are thousands upon thousands of people walking around with that name around here. But this fabric is way more shiny than I thought it was. It's because I walked in there without my glasses on. I leave them in the car. I'm kidding.
Is that a stretch satin?
Ish, yeah. Well, it's a wannabe satin.
Okay.
It's not. It doesn't have the satin. Like it doesn't have the feeling of the microfiber. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like a wannabe satin. But these
Okay.
Walmart oopsies are amazing. This is gonna feel this is gonna be awesome when I finally find the edge for this.
And we're making a pullover today? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, because I made the yellow one, so I'm going for colors this time because it's gonna look great on screen.
Nice.
Because like I said, and I've said this a million times, but I'm trying to add color to my wardrobe because I dress like I'm going to a funeral procession every day. So it's time to bring some color. So I'm exploring certain colors.
Well, that red is nice with your skin tone.
And yellow, and you know what? I can't even believe I'm saying this live on YouTube, but so is yellow.
Mm-hmm. Yellow looks good on you.
I'm gonna put that on in a minute, but I got into making this, so I might as well finish it. Oh man, it is. You know what's so funny? I'm so used to wearing a million layers in here. It's gonna be short sleeve season pretty soon again. You guys are gonna see my arms.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Cause it's it's not muggy in here, but like my body's like, it's not below 50 degrees. Like it's so funny. You are a Walmart oopsie. Still to this day, Kilroy. Okay, let me get the proper name. Be right back. Coffee time. I am shocked that I'm not on People of Walmart. Ooh, I love that lavender. Thank you. Thank you. I'm shocked. I go in there with my cowboy hat on. I go in there looking just like I stepped out of a time machine. And only one time there was somebody checking their phone at a Goodwill. This was years ago. And I walked by and there was a picture of me blatantly in their phone.
Maybe they just wanted to remember so they could get a vest just like yours.
Sure. You are so optimistic. We need you here. I don't know how many times I have to say this. Here in the House of Sewing, we need you to be optimistic, because I was highly suspicious of said person.
Well, I didn't see the expression on their face, so I could be completely wrong.
I'm not even saying how that transaction ended. Now I just have somebody I used to know stuck in my head. Rashawn had today. He had a one-hit wonder bracket,
Mm.
but after they had a mix of songs from all eras, and we kind of came to the conclusion that there needs to be an '80s one. There needs to be
Mm-hmm.
but there's a certain bias there, and I said it, and I felt my bias. I said the '80s was the greatest era for one-hit wonders, but I think that's a bias. Do you think that's my bias?
I mean, probably, because I feel like all the eras have their iconic songs.
Okay, but like, are you gonna put the Flock of Seagulls up against the Spin Doctors? No, the Flock of Seagulls, on a rain will smash any song that it comes up against.
I don't know. Two Princes. That
You're
was a
right.
big one.
Or like Duran Duran. You put up Duran Duran against modern songs. Duran Duran would smash most modern songs.
Well, but Duran Duran were not one-hit wonders.
True. See, that's the problem I have. That is the problem I truly have every time. Because I just want to add the stuff that I love. Hungry like the wolf. And a great Doctor Who episode too, when they go back to the 80s and the Matt Smith era. I suggest Walking on Sunshine by Katrina and the Waves for 80s one-hit wonder. It's amazing how I can read all the way over here.
What a concept.
Let me make my screen bigger. Ooh, it's even bigger.
I had a friend named Katrina, and that was her informal theme song because she was a very bubbly personality.
Oh, that's funny.
Has a very bubbly personality. She's not past.
I just have Johnny Kemp stuck in my head. No. Just got paid.
Mm-hmm. That's such a good song.
I still watch the video.
I do too. Unironically.
Beef is officially thawed. Be right back. Kilroy was talking tacos earlier, so now I'm like starving. Even though I ate like literally less than an hour ago.
I'm eating some fancy rice right now.
Ooh, what kind?
I have chicken thighs and rice with mini bell peppers, shallot, olives, and capers, and some spices.
I was about to ask how far where you live is from my house, but I already know. I don't even have to ask a word on that one. Your cooking is so much more aspirational than mine. Because I used to be like that. I used to be like we're gonna have a frittata for breakfast. We're gonna do this and this, and now I'm like scrambled eggs. Quiche? No, just scrambled eggs.
Sometimes you have to do what you can manage. I used the Instant Pot my friend got me, and I threw everything in there so that I would have leftovers for times like tonight.
Yogurt for me.
Ooh, I like yogurt. What kind are you having, Joy?
I did go to the dollar store and buy a bunch of candy so I can eat like it's Halloween right now.
Oh my goodness gracious. How are you supposed to get better if you keep eating all that sugar?
I got this feeling. Singing Footloose to you is now my default. That is now my like. And you know what? I know all the words now. And I've had a sinus headache all day too, so you need to give me an even more look of disapproval. But at this point, I'm just waking up with them, and I'm like, you can't fight it, feature it.
Oh goodness.
I am.
I feel like you could fight it. Some.
I am.
But, I know you do have some sinus issues, so.
Oh, speaking of which. Oh,
And mushroom. I put mushrooms in my rice.
I am not kidding you. I went and bought a thing of candy, and I was like, this is one of those things as an adult where they try to warn you as a kid to not do these things. So when you grow up, you don't.
Oh my goodness.
You should see how much and my son is so embarrassing because I get all this candy and he bought like 6 artichokes, a pineapple.
Mm-hmm. See, at this point, I think that you've got a little bit of a sugar addiction going.
And I'm like,
you need to get your taste buds and your cravings sorted.
I looked at my kid, I was like, you're making me look bad with all this healthy stuff. Peach mango Greek. Oh, that sounds amazing.
It does.
I love mango anything. I go back and forth because I ate real mangoes for a long time. But now I'm on this actual pineapple kick. I'm all over the place.
My mom has a mango tree in her yard, but it's a small one, and it's always a battle of her trying to get to them before the local raccoons and possums do.
Oh, I actually have the same problem. That's why this year when I do grow a pineapple, I'm gonna put a real cage around it. I'm worried the raccoons are gonna be shaking that.
Just be careful. They're dexterous and they're clever. You need to put a padlock on that cage, not just a latch. So what kind of candy do you have?
They do have thumbs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was trying not to go too crazy.
Says the guy with the tub of candy.
Literal tub. But last time I bought this thing of all Reese's, they were called Reese's Thins. And I ended up eating the whole package.
Oh my.
So this time I mixed it up with Kit Kats and Reese's peanut butter cups, which are so addicting. These are like the candy equivalent of peanuts because I'm sitting here peeling this and eating it, peeling it and eating it. I forgot how much work these things were.
Have you ever had the dark chocolate peanut butter cups from Trader Joe's?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Fantastic. They're so good.
Because I can't say no to anything that's sugary temptation. Even back when I used to drink alcohol, like Trader Joe's, they had this chocolate stout I drank for like a year. But that was a long time ago. I haven't had a sip in over like 14 years. Like 13.
Is my chewing loud in the microphone? I'm not trying to squick anybody out.
No, I mute myself because mine is.
Okay. Chocolate stout. I mean, I don't care for beer type things. The chocolate is tempting, but I don't know. I tried a pumpkin ale, a sip of that one time. It didn't taste anything like pumpkin. Oh, you're muted still.
And I'm talking to a muted microphone. That gets me when something doesn't taste as advertised. Oh, man. I've never seen tubs of candy like that here. Maybe it's illegal here in Canada to have that size. We don't play in America is no joke. But the sad thing is that I had that tub, but that is just one bag I dumped in the tub and it fit in there completely. And now we're in the era of shrinkflation. So that's half of what the old school bags really were. Because the other
Mhm.
bags were huge. The Becca White Chocolate Reese's things are amazing. Yes, I relate to the whole bag number. Oh man, and it's my dollar store. My dollar store. And then the sad thing is they have sewing supplies, so I'm constantly going there cruising the aisle to see what I do and don't have. But they have things that aren't $1 anymore. And it's a struggle. But I promise you, when I get the beaties, I will stop eating candy.
See, the ideal is to do it before you get the beaties, so that you don't have a lifetime of misery.
I can literally hear your, are you kidding me? Did he just say that out loud? I can literally hear it without you even saying it.
And see, coming from such a positive, optimistic person as myself, you know that that's really serious.
Yeah, you are the real life Care Bear. My heart, my chest shoots smoke out. Yours shoots hearts.
Maybe some rainbows, a few sparkles, you know.
Oh, I'm loving the fabric clamp. I cleaned it. Now all of my hardcore wood clamps have a new life. These are because, like I said earlier, these are professional grade, and they are no joke. But because people break into trucks, it is no longer a smart thing to leave hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of tools in your truck anymore.
Yeah.
I pulled my gang box off and everything. It's actually underneath all the stuff in the middle bedroom. Under all my clothes is a gang box that was in the back of my truck.
So you go to a site and you just have to make like 3 trips with your tools?
No, I take all my stuff with me, but I'm
I mean,
hanging out with it.
right, that's what I mean. You have to make like 3 trips to load it up, and then 3 trips when you get there to load it into the site, and then 3 trips to
No,
load it back in your truck and go back home.
no, you take 3 trips to load it in from the house to the truck, and then that's it. And then you use the tools when you're on the site that you need, and
Right.
then you take them home.
Oh, so they're not at risk in your truck at the site. That was my concern.
No, because they're most of the time, like where I work is private property, and when I'm on site somewhere else, it's usually gated.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The Sandman's visiting soon. I'm saying, have a great night, Butterfly. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you
Have a good
so much.
night.
Yay. Now I have Footloose stuck in my head.
Bye, Butterfly. Footloose stuck in your head? Well, there are worse songs.
Well, it's because of the I'm gonna have to do it this way. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you you're roboting because you look like you're about to say something really suspenseful. Or you got something under your. And for anyone tuning in, you are not hallucinating. I'm actually wearing my glasses. Stuff on Earl Cal. Hi, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great evening. I'm just here cutting a few patterns, thinking about what I am and what I'm not going to make. It is a beautiful Monday night. I'm using the base. I'm making the base of what I'm going to make. It's going to be a long sleeve hoodie, but I'm going to make a few this week. My Friday sews is going to be busy this week. And you hope you brought all the tools you'll need. Absolutely, Ollie Bob. But that's the kicker. That's the problem of having to unload everything. Because there's stuff that used to be in my truck that just kind of lived there. And now I have to make sure everything is there. Take care, Butterfly. Absolutely. Have a great night. Yay. Yay. Have a great night. What a good boy. All right. Let's make sure that this is on 2 sides. Yay. There
Hello.
you are. Just let me know. Let me know. I will pop a gasket for you on Spectrum. And you have to remember the line. See, they even agree with me. Thumbs down. You are not providing me for a service that I am paying you for. Therefore, it's theft.
Mm, yeah. I had to deal with calling someone else the other day. I'm stressed and overwhelmed.
Let me know. You heard me. Like, I am not scared to go to the mat with those people. I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong. And because I grew up around people with disabilities, I speak up for everything. And sometimes I'm wrong, but I'm righteous. So I feel that I'm right. But something like that. And especially where you live, you should have no problems because, massive network. Come on.
Yeah.
It's not like you live in Arkansas out in the middle of the tundra somewhere,
Right. I'll bump it up higher on the priority list. I'm thinking of changing companies. I don't know. Tell us in the chat. Who do you have and are you satisfied with their service?
AT&T is the reason why I switched to Spectrum. AT&T got sued for purposely holding the signal back.
Mm.
And it was so bad, I couldn't do this. My computer was just a big beach ball.
Mm.
I'm switching cell providers right now. I'm still shopping cell providers because I'm tired of what happens to me is I start off at $70, $80, and then like my last provider, I looked up, I was paying $120 a month.
Mm.
And it's like, okay, I'm at my house on the Wi-Fi, obsessively watching my phone, but it's not like I'm using any services on the phone.
Yeah.
And I'm not having 6-hour conversations on my telephone.
Those promotional rates I find very frustrating because they give a promotional rate to get new customers. And then it's like, okay, I've been a loyal customer for years and you're gouging me with the price.
Oh, it drives me crazy. And like I get certain deals because of my job and stuff, but then after a while they still jack up the price.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just it's a fight the entire time. Not a fan. And then like with all these new companies, I looked up the Ryan Reynolds one. It's scamish. I'm not saying it's a scam, allegedly, but it's scam-ish. Mint Mobile, all of that. Visible, all of it. It's just a racket. It's a way for them to charge you $800 for an iPhone, and then you have the worst service ever.
It's hard because, one of the ways that some companies try to make money is by cutting customer service. Excuse me. So you have to do everything by chat or email or whatever. But that's when it's the most frustrating for the customers when you can't like deal with a problem. Because inevitably you send a well thought out letter and you say, I need to know about this, that, and the other. Here's what I'm doing. Please help. And then they either respond to something that has nothing to do with the email you sent, or they respond to the first part, or they tell you to do the thing that you're already doing. And it's very frustrating when you then have to, send another email and reply, and then you wait back to hear from them, and you're like, okay, did you not read my first email? And
or when they say turn it off and turn it back on. If you ever want to see a gasket go off and right here, this vein will just go. You think I didn't do that before I called you twice? Oh, it drives me insane. That drives me like when they start with the easy stuff. I'm like, I wouldn't have called you if any of that worked. we wouldn't be here.
And they say, we have to go through the steps. And it's like, yes, I went through the steps when I talked to someone earlier today. I do not want to go through the steps again.
Good to know, Dixie. Good to know. They'll say you have a phone plan, but really you're paying them for advertising. That's so true. Spectrum is it's frustrating. But, I have quite a few devices going on. But again, I have no qualms saying that I paid over $400 for boosters. And I bought another Amazon booster because I was bored one night 2 years ago. So there's like 2 mega boosters in this room and like one all throughout the house, strategically placed, and the internet is still kind of choppy.
So I have a question for people if we're done talking about customer service and internet.
Oh, please. I need to take my Karen. I need a break. My Karen cap is turned on. This pattern is not being nice to me. I'm going to take a break.
When I was doing a sewing class before, learning how to service my modern machine, I got some oil with it, and it was the Zoom Spout sewing machine oil. And so the time has come to purchase more sewing machine oil, and now I have an array of vintage machines. And I had used the Zoom Spout sewing machine oil on one of my more modern style vintage machines, but not on one of my antique Japan sewing machines. And so I'm just wondering, maybe you can answer, maybe Alibaba, if there is a sewing machine oil that you recommend as being especially gentle and yet effective on the antique machines, especially not anything that's going to wreck my Japan finish.
The Klingon delegation will decline an answer on this because we are space pirates. So as a Klingon, I will not recommend anything because everything I use is abrasive. Much like my attitude sometimes.
I mean, so, sewing machine oil in general is pretty gentle. I wasn't even thinking of, Gojo or the pink stuff or
I'm Uncle Cleophas. You give me some 3-in-1 oil, I'll do miracles on a sewing. I'll show up literally with gloves and 3-in-1 oil and a screwdriver, and you'd be like, how did he get that thing going? I am the real life Uncle Cleophas when it comes to sewing machines. Dixie, I want to say this real quick. I've had such problems with my cell phone carriers that I got rid of my phone completely and I only use my work phone. And I'm looking for a new carrier. I completely know what you're going through. Like, it drives me crazy because you pay a lot. We all pay a lot of money for these services. And then it's like chop, chop, chop. You don't get it. But can I ask you a question? Because I do have unreal expectations sometimes. And because I was raised old school, I want answers. Do you think it's because we grew up in an era where things worked and things were not like now? We know things were made to break now. Like they make things to break them,
I think it's hard because stuff was made more sturdily then, and in part it was less complicated. So that helped. But, stuff was more sturdy and it was made to be repaired. But then also, you and I have both worked customer service jobs.
Oh, yeah.
So we know how customer service should be. And so when we get bad customer service, I'm getting tongue-tied. It's extra frustrating. Hey, dog.
You know what? Hey, dog, how's it going? I think you hit the nail on the head because when I did work customer service, I had a lot going on in my life. But I didn't bring it to the sales floor. I didn't bring it to wherever I was making food, or when I worked at a waiter at the steakhouse, I didn't let anyone know what was going on with my life. I would show up every day. Hi, hello, I work here. I'm this chipper guy chipper waiter, And I feel like, just like I was saying earlier, maybe it's my unreal expectations. When I walk into Walmart, the greeters are like this.
That feels more like a
But then, like that,
we're having robbery, so we're watching all y'all.
to be fair, like I said, my local Walmart, and I felt like Shaun of the Dead because I was like, why is this self checkout? Um, why is the self checkout not working? And this, of course, his name was Liam. I love you if your name is Liam, because it's half my name. But he told me, he's like, we've had such a pilfering problem that we can no longer do self checkout.
Mm-hmm.
And he said it's suspended indefinitely.
Wow.
And they have not brought it back. But do you think that's a sign of the times too? I'm not trying to play Robin Hood, but do you think that's a sign of the time?
That people are stealing more, or
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, bad people are going to do bad things. So, but I think a lot of people are desperate because, money is so tight and things are costing so much. But I don't know. Back then there was a lot of material waste, though. The reason why it was so sturdy was because there wasn't enough materials research, so they just added more material and hope for the best.
I like that. That's my motto in life. Just keep going. We'll get there eventually.
Excuse me.
We pay on time and expect them to fulfill their service on the end. I agree, but so like sometimes I ask myself, am I overreacting? But then there's that, am I underreacting or am I overreacting? You have to because sometimes it's just the way that things are nowadays. But I don't know if it's because of my dinosaur self. I remember when everything used to work.
I think that there's a fine line. You can tell. Oh, sorry. Kilroy says, this is unpopular, but I prefer that kind of service. The smiley bend over backwards service always creeped me out. And I mean, I agree. I don't think I want people to be sycophantic but there's a, like, if you care about your job and you care about your customers, not you're ruining your life for your company, but there's a just good smooth running quiet customer service. Things are stocked properly where they go, and there's staff at the register,
Dixie, you don't ever have to apologize for your typing because between autocorrect and my USL, my Los Angeles United School District English, you have nothing to worry about here. And I totally agree with what you're saying. I 100% agree with what you're saying, Waternay. It's just I'm too observant too. That's my problem too. I've been around people who are in the telecom industry. Trust me, stuff goes down all the time. There's nothing that can be done about it. All customer service reps can fix it ASAP.
This is true, but I don't think that that's what we're talking about. Like, if the system is down because of, here's an old term for you, an act of God. If I just said that.
I still deal with insurance. No, I deal with insurance. That's not an old term. That is on every paper where they're like, we're going to cover our own arses. So we're going to say act of God,
If the system is down because there was a lightning strike, then that's different than the system being down because they pocketed all the money and didn't do routine maintenance, or because they choose to do maintenance at a busy time instead of a time when nobody's online, or and there's a difference between someone responding in the email, oh, I got your email and I see points A, B, and C, we can do 1, 2, and 3 about it, and you're like, however you feel about that, and them saying, oh, I got your email, you said X, Y, and Z, and we're going to do 4, 5, and 6. And you're like, well, wait a minute. 4, 5, and 6 has nothing to do with the A, B, and C I wrote about.
I agree with what you're saying, but on my side of town, and as somebody who is flapping their wings with me at 2 o'clock in the morning, my spectrum has the worst reputation for shutting the internet off at 1:30 in the morning. Where I'm from, that's my morning, guys. That is literally like I'm waking up, I'm stretching, I'm getting ready for the day. Like, it drives me crazy. Stuff gets stocked correctly. It's lazy customers who won't put it back. That happens a lot.
This is true. Libraries even will say, don't shelf the book. Put it over here. We'll put it back. Thank you very much.
They have carts next to. I go to a library regularly. They have carts next to the aisles. They're like, hey, put it here now. Oh man, I love going to the library. That's the one thing, the gift I've given my son. Like, we still go to the library. But I buy books though. I go my local library, it's like a really big Starbucks. A quiet Starbucks. A comfortable place to hang out. I am nothing but spelling mistakes.
I have a list that I got that talks about, I don't know, it's like 20 common mistakes that you might make in your writing. And each example that, each line that tells you about the mistake is an example of the mistake.
Oh, wow.
Much like dogs saying, I never make spelling miscakes or grammatical ones, comma.
I have trained myself to look past any mistake. It's that internet thing where it's like, if you can read this right now, you're blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm one of those people that just powers through while I'm reading and I make sense of it. Most of the time they choose to do maintenance is the slow time. Your schedule just doesn't match their statistics. And it's so bad because you'll call and they're like, you'll hear this do, and it's like, in your area there is work because we know you go call and complain right now.
I was driving back to university, and I had, gone home for the weekend, and I was going back to school Monday morning, and I got to class late, and I had left on time to get back early and, unload my stuff and get to class. 9 a.m. on a Monday morning, they were painting the lines on the freeway. Maybe it was 8, whatever. Monday morning, they were painting the lines on the freeway.
Okay, if you ever want to see me go Karen, do some stuff like that in front of me. I won't say anything to in the crew, but as I'm driving by, they'll just see me. I'll lose it. And I know it's not their fault. They're just doing what they're told. But some foreman was like, "Hey, I'm gonna ruin everybody's day today. I'm gonna show the power, the little tiny power I have, and ruin everyone's day today." That drives me insane.
You have to wonder sometimes if someone ticked the wrong box or got confused between AM and PM.
Oh, dog, I'm immune to your stuff. It's not punny sometimes.
Oh,
I'm just I tell a bad joke and you're like, "Wah." Oh man, I'm just being nice, dog. I'm just being nice. And sitting here is making me realize that I do need to go get let me see my other glasses.
If that's how well you see in your old glasses, think how well you would see in some new glasses.
Where's the broken ones those were better? I wanted to cry when those broke. Because my army ones were my backup one.
Kilroy is playing devil's advocate today. Kilroy says roadwork schedules are tight. That's probably the only time they had available to do the work for months out.
Shaking my fist. I'm literally shaking my fist. I'm so angry. And just to let everyone know, I'm a half an hour early to everything. I'm not a late person. I'm not. I pride myself on the fact that I am a habitually early person. I was raised like on military time. I do not play. So if you get between me and my half an hour early, I'm gonna have something to say. I sometimes I leave 45 minutes early because of traffic. And I've been going on the 405 a lot lately, and I give myself time. I tell myself, like, okay, you're going to be driving on a parking lot. So have patience. No one's going to be going fast. When you get near the Getty, everybody. Okay, I have a bone to pick. Why do people slow down when they go uphill?
Maybe you get just enough people with old cars that can't handle the hill. It messes up the traffic.
I will concede that most cars on the road are like at least where I feel that when I drive my truck, I'm like, oh my god, my car looks junky because every other car is a new car on the road.
I
People are hot
wonder.
dogging it. They're hot dogging it.
I wonder if people if aren't paying attention, because when you start to go uphill, you have to give it a little bit more gas or electricity or whatever your car runs on. Give it a bit more welly. And so if they're just driving along with their foot in such and such a position, then maybe they don't recognize that their car has started to lag because they need a little more oomph to get up the hill.
People with new cruise control lose 4 to 5 kilometers per hour every time with even a low grade. I live in California, and the topography here is a lot more hilly than people think it is.
Mm.
And so I live on the mountainous side of Los Angeles, and it drives me mentally insane going into the city because where I live, you have to go uphill. And I think it's because I'm from this particular area, and I don't want to say the name of it because it doxes my town, exactly where I'm from. But it drives me insane because everybody's going slow, and it's the one of many corridors leading into Los Angeles if you're coming from the north and heading south. So I understand there's a lot of people, especially in my town. If you're heading past my town, you've come from the middle of nowhere, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm over people who slow down going uphill. Most people don't know you have to speed up before the hill to get the momentum. But sometimes because of the speed limits, you can't speed up enough before the hill. It's 65 miles an hour and we're all going 70.
70? Who's going 70?
Well, it's because the chippies live on the hill. Like it's known as a speed trap. Like I'm saying chippy, like everyone knows what I'm talking about. The California Highway Patrol, we call them the chips. And I call them the chippies. I drive all crazy. Thank you, Alibaba, for the most truthful statement of the evening. So do I sometimes. The RAV4, the brand new car has let me know that I'm a lot more swervy than I thought.
Well, the first step is admitting you have a problem.
Well, it's because I like to drink my Stanley Cup, my coffee, and I blame it because it has a 20-inch screen in the car, too. Who puts a full-size monitor in a car? And the Tesla is even worse. The Tesla, it has a television in it.
Well, something has to keep you entertained while you're not driving your car.
Which I'll never turn on. Ever. See, that's why I'm thinking I have access to all these fancy cars and I still drive my Ford Flex. And my 1988 Ford F-150, because when I put my gas on the accelerator, I know what happens within my truck. My car, 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. It has loads of welly.
Nice.
I hate those screens in cars. I live in the dark wilderness, and now anything not in the headlights is invisible. I turn all that off. I cannot drive with all that hoo-ha going on while I'm driving. No way. Laser cut headlamps direct all light to that certain space.
Mm.
It's been driving me crazy lately.
There are some cars that have adaptive headlights. And if you're like alone on the road, they'll give you more light and spread it out more. But then if a car is coming, they dim your lights a little bit.
I'm going to leave this comment up for a minute because Kilroy is saying what I want to scream right now. Those lights. Imagine, my friends, the 5 freeway. Fun fact, and I've actually done this ride only to Vancouver, Canada, but I've gone all the way from Guatemala. The 5 starts in Guatemala and goes all the way to Alaska. So in the middle of Sacramento Valley, out in the middle of nowhere one night, I was driving. The other side of the highway is half a mile on the other side. Somebody in the dark was coming with those lights on. It literally lit up the entire area. I hate those LED lights. I am not a fan.
What I don't like
highway driving. I miss driving out in the middle of nowhere. Those icy blue LED, all they have that. Oh, they do. All cars have them now. Get a bus. Well, I have a 25. I have my truck is 25 feet long. And people mysteriously get out of my way when I drive it. I hate adaptive lights. I do the driving, not the computer. You sound like me yelling at the car like, you don't tell me what to do, I tell you what to do.
I had to get a new vehicle, and I really wanted to get a stick shift because I enjoy driving and I like the control of a stick shift. But with LA traffic and the fatigue, I had to get an automatic.
I don't know how you have patience for that. Driving a stick shift literally led me to moving to Oregon. Snapped one day. And I was like, I can't live in LA anymore. And I moved to Oregon literally like 2 weeks later.
I did get an automatic, so.
The designers of those cars have made it abundantly clear that they have never worked a night shift or have to actually drive themselves after dark ever in their spoiled lives. I agree. It drives me insane. I don't drive in the dark anymore. My pops got like that. And it was weird because he was a super prideful guy. And one day he looked at me, he's like, you can drive. Because he could no longer see the lines on the road at night anymore.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm blind as a bat otherwise, but excuse me. I do have good night vision, so I'm hoping it'll stay.
I'm really weird. I wear my cowboy hat, but I can't wear it at night while I'm driving because it blacks out everything even more around me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird.
Yeah.
I miss highway driving. I need to start driving before I get too swervy. All roads are perfect level. Like it shows in the AutoCAD program they designed the car in. The song was right. You gotta wear sunglasses at night. Oh, Corey Hart. Shout out to one hit wonders, Corey Hart. I wear my sunglasses at night so I can. That's another one I still listen to.
Dog says a tiny ding in any American car and they explode. It's true. I've seen loads of Hollywood movies. I think it's oh, good gracious. Now, of course, I can't remember his name. The guy that always wore the red t-shirt and the jeans and his hair was kind of like almost a pompadour, but not quite that style. Didn't it? He went gray. He just stopped YouTube recently because he'd been doing it for 10 years. And he would show like factories and how things are made and stuff like that. And he did a video about what an actual explosion looks like. It was very unexciting and uneventful.
Oh, it's a bit piffy. It's kind of like in '07 there was a giant fire on the property, and we were putting out fires, and then all of a sudden I see the staff in the fire department just standing somewhere. And they were like, in the diesel, there was a fire underneath the diesel tank. And there was nothing anybody could do. And I remember being like, it's gonna explode. And the fire department guy was like, let me explain to you about diesel fuel. It did explode. It exploded in the tank. It shot up 20 feet in the air and came right back down. It was the most unexciting explosion I've ever seen in my life. I was expecting a movie explosion.
Fireball, shrapnel.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, I was expecting all of it. And all the liquid stayed in the tank. Diesel is crazy compared to gas. It's crazy.
Huh.
Let me put my glasses on for this. Brand new 2024 Edge, small ding on a bumper. Took 3 months to fix it, and they couldn't get the correct original part.
Oh no.
America fucking. We don't play. We do not play. I should have yelled, shoot it at the tank. Gasoline is explosive. You can put a cigarette out in diesel if you wanted to. It's very true.
I heard recently that gasoline is not that explosive in liquid form, but the fumes are highly combustible.
Yeah, that's why at my job we have a gas locker, and it's on the other side of the parking lot, away from the shop and everything. And it's so heavy. I can't say someone can't steal it, but you need a crane. We have to use a tractor to move that thing.
Challenge accepted.
Empty. You need something tractor size to move it.
So Dixie, do you have you said you don't drive in the dark. Is that because you your eyes don't see so well in the dark, or do you have some other eye problem, or is it the newfangled headlights don't jive with your vision? What's going on?
To be fair, the newfangled headlights mess with me. I don't think they should be allowed in the city. When people are driving around, I'm like, do they know I can see them a mile away? Especially like excuse me, because a lot of my son's activities are on this side of town, which is a good thing. I'm not griping, but I'm going up and down the main boulevard, and I sit on the high side of the hill. So when I'm going down, I can see all the way down to the end of the street. Like, all you can see are those stupid LED lights at night. A full load from a B-52. That was fun. Do you know what always trips me out around here is during fire season, they drop that red foam on all the houses on the hills. I grew up playing with fireworks. I may or may not have made a couple of hillbilly pipe bombs in my time. Do you know what's one really funny? I said that one time when I was a kid at the shop, and this guy was like, don't say that out loud. Like, he freaked out on me. Well, he probably had gotten busted.
That's the thing. You know, you make a joke once and suddenly Dixie says, I live in the country, hilly, curvy roads, no street lights, and yes, my eyes too, and the deer everywhere. Yeah, we don't have that expression deer in the headlights for nothing. And then also, like, I don't know what it is. Sometimes they just decide, okay, I am going now. And
do you remember what I said? I'm going to do a reveal right now because I don't think I'm going to finish this tonight on stream. But do you remember what I said about deer? In no uncertain terms. I think deer are dumb. They're the dumbest animal that I have, wild animal I've ever come across. And I've dealt with deer from Oregon all the way to Saskatoon, Canada, which is basically Detroit.
And you also see deer using, hey, Skits.
Hey.
You should come on. You also see deer like waiting and using the crosswalk with the people. So clearly they can figure some stuff out. So why they run in front of cars, I don't understand.
I had one jump right in front of my truck at the last moment. See, deer are dumb.
Makes
They
no
drive
sense.
me mentally insane. I'm not a fan. Hey, Skids, how's it going? How's it going?
See,
Great to see you, Skids.
everybody wants to hear from you. You should come on and tell them how
I'm not
you're
a
doing.
fan. Deer in general are. I'm just not a fan. Hey, Happy Maker.
Hey, Happy.
We had a deer run into the side of our car, left a huge dent. The deer was fine. I'm
What?
telling you, they do more. They're worse than bison. They're worse than like name an animal. They learn how to live with humans. We have real life cougars around here. They leave us alone because they know we're more dangerous to them than they are to like real 210 190-pound cats running around. They leave us alone, you know.
Ow.
Deer they'll eat your petunias.
Your petunias.
Oh, they make me so angry. Oh, I'm not a fan of deer. I want to know how much like damage a year the deer do.
I don't know. See, Alibaba says, I saw one, was very hot day, ran right into the side of the trailer I was following. It broke its neck.
I'm telling you, they
I
are
mean,
not intelligent animals.
basic self-preservation should tell you don't run into the large thing on the road.
Well, we have I can't even say we have squirrels that run into cars here. They do that thing where they like hesitate and they'll do that like double move. It's really sad actually, but
Mm,
squirrels are fearless of cars, or they don't know what they are, or they haven't adapted. I don't know, but squirrels
mm,
yeah,
that's sad.
especially around here.
I think squirrels are adorable. My friend says that they're just rats with better PR.
Yeah, because they have a television show called Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Okay. I saw one was a very hot day ran in the sun. Okay, we read that. I just had to put my glasses. Cougars. We have cats. We have like on all, especially on my side of town, on all the local Facebook groups, it's mainly like what's in your backyard. But I have more skunks and raccoons, and there's a squirrel that is so fat. I know that thing eats cat food. We have deer, elk, moose.
Mm. Moose are huge.
To be fair, look at this stupid stuff here. I'm not okay. I agree. On the scale, we're just as dumb as deer. But I'm just saying, deer. I don't speak deer. Human beings, you know. And even if we don't speak the same language, you'll understand. Hey, hey. A deer think that that's an invitation. Rah rah yellow. This is an off yellow, but I love this color.
It's almost chartreuse, but it's not quite green enough.
This is the almost Starfleet uniform yellow that they had in the Chris Pine movies. And it's that weird mesh material too. I made this yesterday. I'm probably gonna end up doing the same thing since I drank a lot of coffee this evening. I'll finish my other shirt later.
Make a matching red one.
And I just remember that I bought another fast fashion jacket. I'm gonna cut the sleeves off.
Mm. So you could layer these, and you could have one where this, because you wear layers anyway, and so you could have the sleeves pulled up a little bit on one, and then like nest the hoods so that you get like the red and yellow.
In a big stag once, car was a write-off. Also, because of a stupid British law, I wasn't allowed to pick it up and sell it to a butcher. Do you know in America you can do that?
Wait, the vehicle behind you has that right? You're the one that had
That's
the car damage. Why would the vehicle behind you get the right to?
okay. That's a crazy law.
That's weird.
My friend had a flock of turkeys stuck in the front of his car. Wasn't one space left to stuff for. Yikes!
Ugh.
I'm not a fan of turkeys at all. Dog never eat roadkill herbivore. It makes the meat septic and yuck.
Ugh.
Oh, not.
Jewel used to tell a story though, because she grew up in Alaska and her family was on a list. And if a deer or something was hit, they could be called to come and get the animal and have the meat. So maybe is it like, I mean, I had thought that that was the case because, certain organs you don't want bursting, the appendix bursting and making everything toxic. Um, but I find it weird that they would have a list like that if it's generally known to be a bad idea.
I agree, Kilroy. Deer are evil. Almost construction site. You know what's so funny? I do need some visible stuff. They would laugh their tails off if I did a business meeting in this. I'm sorry, if I did a safety meeting in this.
That's a great idea.
Once every 2 weeks, I have to bring everyone together and remind them not to put do not put a nail through your foot. Do not nail yourself to anything. Do not glue yourself if you're in a closed room. Do not use anything that might make you pass out. Darth safety vest. I'll take it. Can you hear that? He's singing with headphones on.
I thought he was shouting at somebody in his game.
To me, it's all shouting. Tell me when it's not shouting. Do you know what's so funny? I never thought I'd grow up to be a librarian, but I kind of like it quiet. But I know what it is to be a teenager growing into a man, so he can scream all he wants to till 10 o'clock. Very bad idea. Sometimes it can be a good, but not most of the time. Dumb fuckers spread ticks too. Ticks spread. Yuck. See, but I have 2 possums that live in my palm trees, so I don't have to worry about any of that around here. They probably knew it was good for them. What's that? Sorry.
Oh, I was just agreeing with Alibaba. I imagine if you're an experienced hunter butcher person, then you cut it open and you can say, okay, we don't want this because the appendix ruptured, or oh, we shouldn't eat this because the stomach has contaminated everything. So you kind of know what's what.
Oh, Gilroy, you would be fun at the safety meeting. You would be fun. I am Captain Buzzkill. And because it's pointed out to me, somebody who was like 18 when they worked for me, and now they're like 26 with a wife and a kid, and they moved on with their life. He showed up wearing designer jeans to work. And 8 years later, I still talk about it. And when I'll come into the meeting, whenever there's a new guy, they're like, he's going to tell you the story about the jeans. Don't wear designer jeans here. We don't want to hear about it for the next 8 years.
Well, I mean, if you don't mind getting your designer jeans ruined with work stuff.
I looked down. I was like, are those real? I'll never forget asking that question. The guy was wearing designer jeans. When we're digging ditches with a tractor, and you have to get in there manually sometimes with the shovel, and I wasn't getting in there to shovel, he was.
Maybe he had been out of work for a while and he couldn't afford new not designer jeans for work. He just had to get the paycheck and then he would get appropriate work.
He was a nepotism hire. I knew his entire family. He wasn't hurting for anything. He's a good kid too. He's a good kid, but like he was a baby. He just needed to learn the ropes, And he showed up the day that we were working with actual tar and digging ditches, and I'm like, "Are you?" It's so sad. I'm still talking about it 8 years later. The law regarding the deer goes back to when horse and carts were the big thing. Never has changed.
Hmm.
That reminds me, I saw somebody that goes on all the old abandoned rail lines in California. Do you think that's dangerous?
Um, what do you mean goes on them?
He built his own tiny little he built himself something that goes on the tracks. His is wood. I have one that's made for railroad tracks that's actually made of steel.
I mean, I think that's dangerous because what if you've made a mistake and it's not actually abandoned? Um, if it is abandoned, you might get, track that's not good anymore or that has some sort of damage to it, or you're trucking along and end up derailed. And
I used to
so,
follow this guy in on YouTube that would do it in Arizona. Between Arizona and California, but it gave me anxiety, so I unsubscribed. But he was in the like eras people forget, like, but in San Bernardino County, like from the outskirts of LA to Phoenix, there's nothing out there. Nothing. You are out in the middle of the desert. You'll stumble upon towns and stuff, but there's just endless railroad lines back there from
Mm.
years of all the old discontinued lines, all the stuff.
Mm. This is why we can't have nice things. We took out all our old rail lines.
We have too many ticks here, so you're basically told to go in a certain area. I can
Ugh.
totally, ugh. If they're abandoned, no. This guy, he actually is between noodling, magnet fishing. Noodling, you just need your hand. I have all the equipment for magnet fishing, but I want to go on the abandoned rail lines. We have old rail lines where I live.
Mm.
It's safe. He's probably the first thing on the rail in years. It looks like fun, and it's total like just cheap, like hillbilly fun. He built this whole, like, he has the old timey one where he goes like this, but he also has a motor on it too.
Yeah.
Because he's flying, he'll just sit there and start flying on that thing. And going fast on old railroads, yes. The ties go and the rails twist sometimes. Ticksville, USA. You'll know if a rail's abandoned. It won't look as nice as the rail they used. And even if it's in crapping condition, it'll hold your weight fine. Excuse me. The one that gave me anxiety is that this guy was like, he literally went in a tunnel in the dark, and then it opens up, and he's going uphill on in a mountain somewhere. It just looked really hairy to me.
Well, if he was sensible, then he sent a drone in to make sure that the rail was still there, and
I
if I
still I still have that adventurer in me sometimes, and like my dad got all kooky when I got older because he realized he had another able-bodied human. So I have another able-bodied human to take with me on my kooky adventures. And my son's just young enough to be like, let's go. And he doesn't ask if I need permits.
when I was a little kid, my mom and I were walking, I don't know, it was in Canada. We were out, I don't know, in the wilderness. And she came across some old railroad tracks. And she said, "Look, old railroad tracks. Stomp, stomp, stomp." Well, there was a bee's nest there under the railroad tracks, and I was closest. And so I got covered in bee stings.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I'm not allergic. But she was, she was like, "What do I do?" And she slathered me with mud. Then the doctor's office had to get all the mud off to get the bee stings out.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Do you know I've never been stung by a bee before?
Really?
Never.
Hmm.
So I don't know, but with the amount of epinephrine in my system, I feel sorry if a bee ever crosses my path. I actually have to take epinephrine, so I feel sorry.
I mean, given how allergic you are to everything, I would be a little concerned for you and bee stings.
Never. I've never been stung by a bee. I even asked my mom, and she's like, "You still haven't been stung?" Because she was shocked that I didn't know if I was, or she's like, "You would know."
Mm. I don't know what.
America is awesome. It's so vast. It where am I? Oh, it's so vast, and it has every ecosystem known to man. I love my visits there.
It is pretty. It's beautiful.
That is awful, though.
Yeah, that was unpleasant. I only vaguely remember because I was pretty little. Maybe I blocked it from the trauma.
No, that's real. That's real. I'll spare you the story. That's why so few Americans have passports, dog. We have everything here. We don't have to get a passport to go into the desert or a huge mountain.
And also, it's the America, US is a large country. And so there are a lot of places to go. And then for the longest time, you didn't need a passport to go to our two neighbors, Canada and Mexico.
I thought it was weird when they started that. Thank you,
Yeah.
George Bush. Thank you.
And because we're so large, and like other countries apart from Canada and Mexico are very far away and therefore expensive to go to. So that all adds to the list for why a lot of Americans don't have passports.
And we have giant national parks.
Mm.
Giant. Like, I don't think people realize how big Yellowstone is.
Yeah.
Or even I didn't go to Yosemite until I was older. When I say older, I was in my 20s. I'd never been there, and I went, and it was breathtaking. And how many times have I passed it on the freeway going north, and not made that right and gone into the Yosemite Valley?
Yeah.
I could drive on the prairie, no road, and not know where I am. I got into the U.S. from Saskatchewan. I always wondered about that. Someone I knew, and I hope he made it. He said he was going to walk into Canada. He was just going to start heading east into Washington. And I hope he made it because he was like me. He was a determined human. So I know he at least tried. If you want to go to Europe and you're on the West Coast, you got to fly 2,005 miles just to get to the other side of the country to go to Europe. That's like people, when they go to Australia, they have to fly to California. Or take one of those insane red-eye trips where it's like a 30-hour plane ride,
Yeah, it takes like 24 hours to get to Australia.
Oh, whoops, wrong button. I always thought that was interesting. But the same thing to go to the UK, we got to go across the country.
Yeah. The last time I flew back from the UK, I had a bunch of miles and things, and I flew business class, and I was up in the upper deck, so it was all quiet and peaceful. My seat made a little bed that they put like sheets and a blanket on. They had a little snack counter with, when I woke up in the morning after the flight, the flight attendant appeared with a flute of orange juice for me. It was amazing. My friend said, I'm never flying steerage again.
What airline was that?
That was British Airways.
Oh, they take care of you.
It was really nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
I felt rested when I arrived instead of beleaguered.
I don't know what it is to not arrive somewhere stressed. Okay, we got here. I'm going to relax in an hour. It's different though. Like when my son was younger, vacations were stressful. Now I'm just like, hey man, you want to go here? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, let's go.
Kids get to a certain age, and I mean it depends on the kid, of course, but they get to an age where they're much better at traveling and enjoy the process and their companions rather than you know
Asking for chicken fingers in a country that doesn't even know what a chicken finger is. Don't even get me started. Like, I don't like this. We are literally not in America, kid. Choose something. 3 words: deep vein thrombo.
You're not lying. You have to like stretch and stuff when you're on the plane.
My
Nice.
wife used to be a BA stewardess. They like, there's certain airlines I still want to fly. Oh, what is it? Is it Qatar Airlines? Whoever advertised for the World Cup, I was like, I want to go on your plane, but I don't want to go to your country. Can I just go in a big circle? Whatever plane takes you to Dubai, that it just looks like they're doing Cirque du Soleil on the plane.
Oh. Got a twitchy finger.
I'm the same way though. Autocorrect and I hate each other. Let's be real. Like, I always jokingly say we're not friends. We don't even talk anymore. Qatar Airlines, very expensive. You know what? It's because I watch all kinds of crazy stuff, and I still obsessively watch Kay Burley because I love Kay Burley on Sky News, and so they advertise British Airlines and Qatar Airlines because they're like, "Oh, you want to watch this? Come to our country, come travel, go anywhere. You're watching something in a different country. You want to travel." I like the old school vacations where you just went somewhere 2 to 4 hours away and went on the road trip, not the new ones where you got to pay the equivalent of 11 mortgage payments just on a plane ticket. I have to look up the place. I went to a place on the other side of Anaheim. It was a resort. Like, it was this stuff that it was like Isaiah still tells me it was the most fun he's ever had in his life. It had an indoor water park. It had an arcade, and they give you a wand, and it plays every time you hit the wand on a game, it plays. You can just play the game for free.
Nice.
I can't remember the name of it, and it was like had a 5-star restaurant. We had the time of our lives.
Oh.
And it was old school vacation because it was like right outside of LA, in Orange County. It's outside of Disneyland. It's like 2 hours away from my house.
That's kind of the thing I envy about Europe. They have airlines that are super inexpensive, and you have a whole bunch of different countries that are relatively close by. You've got train systems. You just hop on and you can go experience a different culture, but it's not such an ordeal.
That is true.
I'll be right.
Okay. You are right though. They don't have vacations like these do. Qatar Airlines will treat you right, but you'll pay through the nose. $10K and up for first class. I no longer work, so I have to fly cattle cart next time. Dog, I can't handle a flight. I wish. I loved living in Europe. Do you know, I'm going to tell you my real beef about flying is I can't handle going through security. And I know they treat everybody like garbage, so it's not that offensive, but like it's security that you arrive somewhere and you're shaking because there was so much drama just getting on the plane. The flights are cheap in Europe because Europe is so small. It's like flying from Pittsburgh to Cleveland. That's like when I lived in Arizona. Do you know how shocked I was? A flight from Phoenix International Airport to San Francisco is an hour and a half at the most. Good times. Good times. I still have Footloose stuck in my head. I understand security. I don't understand the cramming in now. I've kind of refused to fly for a while. For a while, I've been BA on the A team. Like, you cannot get me on a plane. But it was more or less because of my experience with security. And um, Isaiah and I have taken a lot of train trips, and they kind of have the same security, but they're just not as intense. That is one thing. I don't know where you live, but I've taken a ton of Amtrak trips and had the time of my life. Like one random time, I took the kid to San Juan Capistrano and we had a good old time. Europe is bigger than Northern America. Why did YouTube block? For some reason, YouTube blocked that. I need to put my glasses on. Oh, that's so funny, YouTube. Why is this offensive, YouTube? Why? It really did get blocked. That's weird. Used to be the regular flights are first class now. Oh, that's weird. Some of these comments are being blocked. I guess just going through the hospital metal detector. Airport security would. Oh, yes, it would. You would need some powerful medication. What got blocked? My line. Dog's line about Europe got blocked. That got blocked. Europe is bigger than Northern America. Is that offensive, YouTube? How is that? I have so many questions. I'm loving this yellow. This was a definite oopsie because I think this is an extremely off color, but I love the color on this. I guess Europe is a swear. Okay, that showed up. You know what, though? YouTube is extremely random with what they pick and choose of what they're going to show you. So there's no way to tell. The most random things that people say get blocked all the time. Europe is a swear. USA. So maybe get my bootleg hockey. I laughed so hard when I got that hockey jersey. It was so fake, but I don't care because it looks like the real one. I switched from top back to all messages, and now they're all coming through. Oh, that's so funny, Dixie. I didn't accidentally block someone when I picked up my phone. No, you did it. You did it. Because it would say it here. But lately I've been all thumbs lately, and I've almost timed out a few people. Oh, the chat. The top, is it top chat? No, you didn't block anybody. I didn't think Europe was bigger than Northern America. Canada is a larger country than the States and Mexico. Yeah, I think the UK, like England, with the entire United Kingdom of what used to be the United Kingdom, is the size of Kentucky, relatively speaking. Australia, on the other hand, is the exact same size as America. It's just there's more people in the state of California than there is in all of Australia. I bet dogs, including all the former Soviet bloc countries you don't want to go to. Hey, the Latvian people are beautiful and they love watching my stream. I absolutely have love for all Latvians. Or that's my guess of who's watching my stream. I have love for everybody. I hope you're all doing well and that life's treating you decent. So I still haven't decided on because after I make the next oopsie hoodie, I'm not gonna be done, but I'm gonna try to make something else. So I'm definitely gonna make a pair of pants or something next. Ukraine is and has always been European. You can fit 5 UKs in Texas. Actually, Waterne and I have this conversation all the time because we've both been there and we were just shocked at the size. Shocked at the size. Oh, let me put my glasses on. Yoga wear for your morning workouts. Oh, that's not a bad idea. I could make some yellow yoga pants and have a Kill Bill outfit with this. Well, the Europe does go all the way to the Gulf off of St. Lawrence. Oh, good times. Good times. Let's see, what else was I gonna do? Oh, you can finally see my dress form that I got. Let me make myself big. You know what? I kind of feel like I scored with this dress form. Because dress forms, like I said, are extremely expensive. And I scored this at a Salvation Army for $24. And as somebody who is an utter and complete real life borrower, that's a good price. Sorry, let me plug this in real quick. Oh, my phone's letting me know I need some more juice. Perfect. Make a set of pans and you'll look like a Dollar Tree Big Bird. I have my plague mask. If you want to go full Big Bird, I always laugh how people say I look like a toucan when I wear that. France and North America for real. $24 is a nice price. I've never heard one that cheap. That's why I jumped at it. And I knew that I had the cover because I had it on my other mannequin because I wasn't wearing my glasses one night and I thought I ordered a dress form. But I ordered the Lycra cover. I was like, oh, that's really affordable. Let me tell you, I don't know who needs to hear this. If it's too good to be true, it is truly too good to be true. But that reminds me, let's check Amazon. Let's see. I ordered another one. We'll see when it's coming. It said it was going to come today, but of course, Amazon loves telling stories. Oh, I gotta put my glasses on. Looks like a real one size. Oh, a size form 2, not expansive type. It is. It's just one size. Are you speaking of Quebec, Alibaba? All right, so let's check on this to see what's coming. Of course, it's coming tomorrow. You know, it makes me laugh so hard. They're like, it'll be there in 24 hours. It's coming tomorrow. I wonder when that. I ordered this really rando patch. I don't even want to say what it is, but it looks like it's coming from Mars. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so I'm getting another cover, so I'm excited about that. All right, let me do this real quick. Perfect. There are two islands in the Gulf of St. Lawrence and are not a protectorate, but old school France. They were ruled under Louis XV. Quebec is like if you Xeroxed France and replaced people with rednecks. You did not. Who like hockey though? Who love hockey? Quote of the evening so far. You know what though? Canadians are nice. Americans, like I could only imagine when Americans travel, they're like, oh, the Americans are coming. That's why I try to be on my best behavior when I travel. I try to be the most polite person, my best foot forward. I am like, please and thank you, because I'm trying to spread the word that we're not that bad. Yay.
Hello. I was listening It, sorry, I had to close the window, and it's a 2 coffee kind of night.
Absolutely.
I think a one size dress form is better because the expandable ones, the little expansion parts, are never all that reliable. And then the seams are right neat where you need to put pins and things. So if you get a one size, you can always pad it out to your shape and it'll be much more cooperative.
I'm excited. It makes me I need, because of the amount I sew, I need more stuff to put clothes on and to
Mm-hmm.
sew around and give myself ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Having the dress form, it makes me feel like the mannequins, it was like, oh, he's a crazy guy sewing. But having the dress form actually makes me feel like a sewist.
You can get well, they have them on Amazon, but they have them other places, and they're pads specifically for shaping out your dress form. And so I'm not sure if they have like a men's version so that they're not like super curvy where you don't necessarily want it to be, but
They do.
they come in like, yeah.
I'm an Amazon peruser. They do. I'm gonna completely measure myself down and see the difference between myself and then add on. But I have a bad feeling like we're kind of even up here. It's just I have to add a bunch down here on the sides and in the front. I have a bad, yeah, I'm about the same size as that thing.
You just fill out the center so you don't have a weird dip in the middle.
No, I need to know this because I'll be so mad. I'm like, what is that giant dip in the middle of it?
This shirt's awfully shapely.
Hey, Westbrook, Pennsylvania has loads of rednecks who are willing to get into fights over the Pittsburgh Penguins. I know because I see them online all the time.
Oh, Kilroy out there swearing in French. Scandal.
I hope the small museum on St. Pierre with the Class 7 singer they had. Maritime Museum. Wow. There's only one word you need to know. Before, I don't even want to say it out loud. That's like when my friend, if I curse in Vietnamese, do you think the algorithm's gonna catch it?
It might.
Somebody taught me a curse word. They didn't say it was. And they were just like, oh, this is something that's semi-casual. And I would say it, and someone tried to fight me.
I think that if it's not a language you normally speak in, I think it can sometimes slide past the algorithm. Whereas if you spoke French on your thing a lot, then it would say, hey now.
Well, it's Vietnamese. It's not even French. It's like straight out Vietnam. I actually know a lot of Vietnam, but I'm like most people, I know the curse words.
I meant if you read Kilroy's comment.
Oh yeah. I see. That's the thing. Even like on Rashawn's streams, it's weird to me how they can play music, but and of course this was years ago. I was on a stream where we were just doing like weird people karaoke. We were literally singing online, and it got taken down because they said it was a copyright strike. Right on Belle Biv DeVoe, on Poison, they took us down.
That song. Not very nice to the woman, but it's a catchy song.
Just to age myself, I literally have the actual CD in my car right now. That album, Thought It Was Me, is the third. I love that. I thought it was me. Made the girl this way. Came to find out she's like that every day.
I like some New Jack Swing.
I'm gonna look that up. No, it had to have been the early, like 92, 93. Because that was my song. Like, I had the poster. I had the Belle Biv, the poster, Belle Biv DeVoe. Like, that was my group. I had the overall. You know what? I'm gonna make a pair of overall shorts like it's 1993, like I'm Ronnie Bivens.
Well,
I
that'll be good for summer, though.
I recently watched the video.
You should make some short Pamerals.
I think I'm going to because I keep on because the other day I found a CD book in my car and I put it in there on purpose, but like I forgot that it had all the good CDs in there. And I have a Belle Biv DeVoe CD, the actual album in there that has all the 90s songs on it, but it's not a greatest hits. They just released a lot of good songs on that one album. I know a guy playing drums online got copyrighted hit. He was perfectly doing Led Zeppelin. I
Wow.
think about that because I'm a braying cat who likes to sing. I'm the real life Heathcliff. If you watch that commercial, if you watch that cartoon, you need aspirin in the morning and you're amazing. I'm a real life Heathcliff. I'm on the fence braying.
I've heard that Led Zeppelin are especially, what's the word I'm looking for? They go after all and sundry who use the publicists who use their music. So I can understand them saying, "Oh, this is one of our songs," and the guy's like, "Wait a minute," and they're like, "No, this is our song."
Oh no, there's quite a few like that. Um I think sometimes it's the record label
Mm-hmm.
more than the band because like I always
Yeah.
tell the story how my channel almost got taken down because of Faith No More. They're more or less like they could honestly care less. Like, okay, perfect example. On that beat I use over and over on my videos, that's DJ Quick. He opened up most of his music so some shrub like me can sound semi good in their videos. And I think that's amazing. He's a real producer. He respects the art form. And it's weird to me. And I got it from his official website.
Mm-hmm.
And they let me use it over and over and over.
From the videos I've seen and the articles I've read, the bands actually like it when you use their music because it gets attention to them and they get more followers and listens and all of that. It's the publicists who, and I don't know if it's something about the law, because it's like if you have like a a logo or a term or something like that, you have to defend it in order for your claim on it to hold. And so maybe it's something to do with that. But yeah, the copyright strikes and things are usually the publicists, not the band itself.
Joy, I didn't see your comment. I'm sorry. If you're still there, how long have you had your dress form?
And how come you don't use it? Do you well, because like sometimes you make a thing and then you try it on yourself to see how it works and stuff, and you don't necessarily need something to pin on, or if you're not doing any draping or
Like, this is my new shiny toy. I totally know 6 months from now, I'm going to be like, put this on top of a sewing machine, put a shirt on it and its display,
I have a dress form that I got a few months ago. I guess it's a little longer than that now. I haven't used it yet. I have to pad it out because it's old water nay size. Actually, it's smaller than that because I wanted something I could put a corset on. So yeah, it's not anything useful in its current state, but it did come with pads that I can put on there.
That's it. You brought up a really valid point of why I kind of don't want to pad this. I make a lot of women's clothing, and a lot of the people I make clothes for are tall and skinny. They're like
Okay.
the person who originally approached me is the exact same height as I am.
Mm-hmm.
And she they're extremely conservative humans. Look, if you don't hurt people, I respect all people and whatever you believe in. As long as you're nice. Well, I got it for free. Always wanted one, and I have not sewn anything for myself in years. It was free. I
That
love free 99.
and dress forms are expensive, so
That's why I freaked out when I saw this one. And it's the weirdest thing. Like I've told you, I know Los Angeles through and through. I have yet to really explore the valley, and I decided to. I think pads are way better on forms than the adjustable ones. Project
absolutely.
Project Runway made me want to dress for him, and I don't so Dixie, it's so funny. That show, um, RuPaul's Drag Race, So Fierce. That's a Canadian show, and there was something else. All made me want the singer Heavy Duty. I felt like as a sewist, I need to like look at it every day, even though I'm not going to use it. It was in every show everywhere, and I was looking for it just because it's on every sewing show I watch.
But then tell them what you heard about the behind the scenes.
On the race, one of the queens spilled that they have jukies behind the cameras. They have the real professional jukies behind the cameras with the tables and everything. So in front of the camera, everything is singer. But back behind the cameras, when it's just them in the workroom, they have jukies for everybody.
And assistance for the people who don't sew.
Which, if I had an assistant, I would be dressing like Louis the 15th. Are you kidding me? I just need someone to cut the patterns. That's all. I just need someone to cut the patterns. I'm crying. This is a cry for help. If you can stand the smell of THC, I'll
See,
hire you to come over to my house and cut patterns.
this is all the stuff that they don't tell you is sewing has very little sewing. Most of it is cutting and pinning and maybe some basting and
I saw they use it's the singer Juki. I saw they use brothers. I was talking about RuPaul's Drag Race. On that show, someone recently totally ratted on the show, and even the producers was like, "All right, all right, all right. We do have Jukis behind the scene." Oh my god, I stumbled on a YouTube channel. It was a fashion show, and the design used tape to make, I don't know, on the ladies, and they're 90% naked. Was it Balenciaga? Balenciaga right now sells this, like, let's look it up. Let's see how much the Balenciaga tape is. Let's look it up right now. Brother Juki and Singer are the same manufacturer. That explains why the cord works for my baby lock, my Singer heavy duty, and like 5 or 6 brothers in here. Oh, and my Viking. That's why that cord is plugged in under my desk, because it's like an international cord for modern sewing machines.
handy.
It's the trippiest thing. I'm so used to old school Singers where every single model had a different cord, which I think is the most idiotic thing on planet Earth. And by the way, if you have a 600 series touch and sew cord, at me, please.
Well, didn't you say that Sanford had one and you were going to email him?
If we go full hazmat suits, do you want to go to Michigan with me? I'm tactile. I'm tactile. I want to touch it. I want to see it.
I
We would be
mean,
a spectacle. We would look like the Beastie Boys in the Intergalactic video. We would be a spectacle in white suits. The
we
pod
did have
people.
we did have a we talked about a House of Sewing road trip and meetup.
I knew I should. I used to have a trailer and I sold it just because of the memories attached to it. I knew I shouldn't have got rid of that thing.
You can rent one.
I don't like renting.
You can buy
They just design
one.
tape on their. They just design the tape on their bits. What exact show was this for science? I need to watch this show.
I saw one where they sprayed a dress on someone, and it's actually one that you can like rewear after the fact.
Somebody help me. I'm looking at pretty crochet blanket patterns and I've never even touched a crochet hook. They're so cozy. I'm obsessed with crochet stuff and I'm scared to even get into that.
Well,
Crocheting is fun, quicker
cro-
than knitting.
it's quicker than knitting, and it's okay. Now let me you do need some skill to be good at it and keep track of, and there are more complicated things and stuff like that. But doing like a crocheted blanket is oftentimes considered a nice beginner's project. So if you want to do some crocheting, that could be a fun place to start. And as they say, it is faster than knitting. I don't know. If you're like me, I find it an exercise in tedium, but lots of people like it. So, it just depends on your temperament.
He don't rent shit. He buys it, he uses it once, and then he lets it rot. Well, all of that except I write it until it rots. I use and then I don't get rid of it. That's my problem.
You
Like
know what?
that's my thing. I don't like things that do not work. So everything in this room works. It's just if I use it or not is a whole other subject. I saw that one.
You know what could be a fun thing for you, William? Home Depot sells their gently used trailers and things. You could buy a Home Depot trailer and like paint it and trick it out and put like, I don't know, hooks and tie downs for machines or something. You could make a whole like road trip to Fred Sanford transport trailer.
Do you want to know my Pee Wee Herman dream? I want to get a big sticker of me on the side of a trailer like this, like do you not know what to do with grandma's old sewing machine? Call me the crazy sewing machine guy. I have this whole idea of getting a sticker of me being like with two sewing machines, and on the other side, I'm like, hey.
You could get magnetic ones and put them on your truck. That's not a bad idea.
I want like full box truck.
Uh-huh. Do both. Why not both?
There's lots of crochet tutorials on YouTube. It's definitely something I want to get into because there's one thrift store that I go to where I keep on getting all these books from the 1960s and 1970s, and they were much more detailed than books now. And so it has explicit directions to how to make everything that's in their book. All that groovy stuff I was showing you, there's directions that actually make all of it. That's not a bad idea. Happy Maker, not a bad idea at all. There's such a thing as gently used rental trailer.
Well,
I
he's
did
a
not
good
know
thing.
that. No, he would load that up. That Modelo. Do you know what's so funny? I keep on trying to think about how I can get my truck to downtown LA because it's in 1988. It would be a burden on the freeway, and I don't want to be that guy. And that's a long. There's a road that would take me there, but it would be like horse and buggy time. It would take me all day. You'd be like
Well,
American Pickers, but instead you're sewing pickers.
can't you just drive in the slow lane with your truck?
I don't want to
What's
be
the
that guy.
problem?
No, I don't want to be that guy. I could take all side streets, and the second I got to Hollywood, I can get to downtown in 5 minutes
But
because there's ways to get through. But like my whole point is one of the reasons I haven't taken my truck is because I would buy a full roll, but then I would have 600 yards, 300 yards of like. Then I'd have to wait for my son to get home. Like, oh, you're buff now because he's working out. He's getting buff. And I'm like, okay, let's lift up this 350-pound roll of fabric. I have black forever now. I don't know. I don't know where um I need to go see Modelo Man though. I feel like I've neglected him. I haven't been there in a week or two. It's been a month. And I only bought like 200 yards last time I was there. Do you know what's insane? I still haven't used that denim yet.
That's because you're afraid, because everything you think of making with it, you're like, oh, but then I won't have it to make this other thing. So I think the obvious solution here is to buy more denim.
When I went back, he didn't have the roll. So somebody
Mm,
came because it was an insane price.
mm,
And somebody probably but also I think I go so early in the morning they aren't fully set up.
yeah. Maybe you could say, hey, do you have any more denim? If you have some, I'll come back and get it next week. And then maybe they would acquire some for you.
Oh no, if I asked him, he'll do anything I ask him because he when I'm telling you, like it puts a smile on my face, but it makes me laugh when I turn the corner and people are like in this like they have this like look on their face and they see me, they're like, it's that guy. That guy's gonna buy me lunch right now. That guy's gonna buy me lunch because he's gonna go crazy with fabric.
Are you saying 50C as in temperature, Alibaba? That you were in a very hot 1854 house? And did you find anything interesting? Because, it sounds like there would be lots interesting. Yes, as in temp. Oh, goodness. Oh, have you all seen Shannon Make's new videos? She bought a Victorian house in Nova Scotia full of like antiques and things, and
Oh
she's
my
going
god.
to restore it. And then she's like, and I have this furniture I can use too.
I'm this close. I am this close. I need a Victorian factory.
That would be fun.
She's a
Oh,
good teacher of crochet and quilting. She passed away from cancer. Oh, that's awful.
mm,
Do you know that's like I'm not kidding you. I watched Nancy Zeman. Like I watched her entire career on PBS. I cried during the pandemic when I found out that she passed away. I was
mm.
in a bad place. I was in a very vulnerable place in my life during the pandemic because I was trapped in the house. But I openly was like, it was so sad to me.
I found some nice videos from her on the what did she call it? The it's a method for like if you need to do like an FBA or expand the waist, or some part of your pattern without having to do like the crazy dart and pivot and cut and all of that. It was the tilt and slide, or I don't know, whatever she called it.
That sounds
So
like a dance move.
I'm gonna try it out on one of the patterns that I have. See what it does.
I my weight is constantly going up and down, so I have to adjust a lot of things. So the Nancy Zeman touch and slide technique is amazing.
I don't know why I can't remember what it was called, but I saved 2 or 3 of the videos. She had like a little series for pattern adjustments. It was nice.
All of her FOF sponsored stuff before she had her own show is still on YouTube right now.
Hmm.
It's either like there's like an actual Nancy Zeman channel and it like all her old stuff. I watch it all the time. I actually fall asleep to it when I hear that. It takes me back. I'm sad. I get excited at Nancy Zeman music. I am a sad human.
Oh, that's so heartbreaking, Joy.
Yikes, that's the worst. Somebody I used to hang out with that I absolutely loved and respect. She had 2 children and her daughter got cancer at like 8 or 9 years old.
Oh,
Yeah, it's awful when something like that happens. I watched her videos. She was a great teacher and lovely person. Yes, she was. I believe her husband is keeping up is keeping the channel up.
Mm. So Alibaba says that he found a rare C.W. Williams Singer 2-copy bass and an 1895 fur machine.
Oh wow!
Did you buy them or did you just admire them? Yeah, Shannon had her apartment in Montreal. They still have it because they're doing remodeling and stuff on their house. And the house that they bought is in Nova Scotia.
I always had a dream of like in the heart of Los Angeles, there is still quite a few of like the 1930s and 1940s full properties. I've always wanted to buy one of those, you know.
Mm.
But then you're like living in the heart of LA, like on the boulevard, the heart of LA. I
No.
bought them. That's awesome. I know, pigs. And these houses are so huge that like 20 people are living in them comfortably.
Mm.
Because they're the old school, like 10-bedroom original LA properties. Well, not original, but they're like, you know, pre-World War II.
Yeah, the big mansions, and because a lot of times, you know, like the house might have been built as a 4-bedroom, but it's got the one parlor and the other parlor and the study and the, you know, the this room, and then that's not counting all the like rooms for the servants and sitting room and, you know, all of this extra stuff.
My grandfather had what I would consider, he moved in a house in the late 60s, but I called it the Brady Bunch house. It had a bar in it. A literal like bar which you walked into and you had to move the thing and you were the bartender. It had a sitting room, living room. It was a humongous house.
Alibaba, that is stunning. Sorry, I got distracted by machines. So, bar in the house. Well, you know, the 60s were swinging.
And my grandfather was a Scotchy Scotch kind of guy. I remember when you know he wasn't a really active guy, and so when he retired, he went kind of crazy. He became, it was kind of like The Godfather. He became obsessed with gardening, and he would drink his scotch and tend to his plants.
Huh.
That base looks nice for a forehead or more embroidery machine. 1897's patent for machine. Wow. Joy and I said at the same time, we were like, wow. Maybe I'll retire. I'm not a scotch kind of person that just screams like a headache. It was also a different generation too. My grandfather was real World War II, and they were cut from a different cloth.
Yeah.
My father pre-bombed himself. There's no way I could drink like my grandfather or my father. They both of them literally pre-bombed themselves.
Oh, yeah. That doesn't sound like a good time to me.
Well, they partied. They always were the life. They partied, like had party. You know that's one thing about that era is they would come together. I want all different machines. I'm scared to have different machines because, like, I want the cobbler machine, but then I'm gonna start making shoes. I want, you know, like
you say that like it's a bad thing.
It's just another obsessive habit. Even today, Isaiah came to me and he's like, you know, I'm like you. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, when I start something, I completely get enveloped by it, and I'm like, well, that's actually a good trait, so that's okay.
See, if you had a cobbler machine, you could do some interesting repairs on your boots.
And not pay someone like I need. Like I have all kinds of boots I refuse to get rid of because the leather's good. It's just I've wore them down to the nub.
Mm-hmm.
Especially my cowboy boots. Anything that has spurs on them, they anything that's like real cowboy boots, they last forever. But I wear them. If you wear anything every day, you're gonna run them down.
Yeah, they have to be resold, but that's part of their longevity rather than something that wears out and can't be repaired. Mm.
I found a pair today because I put the exercise bike in my kitchen in front of the TV, and my kitchen is huge, so it's not as crammed as it sounds because I'm cleaning. Which reminds me, I threatened that this stream might be the closet stream. My next stream might be the closet stream because I finally have decided to open up the tomb that is my middle bedroom slash. I don't know why I made it a walk-in closet, but it deters family members from moving here, so it works. But the great cleaning is underway. Part deux is happening right now. The coffee machine is a multi-use.
Ooh, nice. See, so many machines I'd love to get my hands on and play with them and see what they do. And
That's like I have this there's a very famous picture of Lucille Ball. There's the sewing episode. I need to know what machine that was. And you can easily look it up, and I saw it the other day, and now I can't. Are you looking at the link?
yes,
I can
sorry.
tell. I can tell because you're veering off and hit a duh as you're hitting the things in the middle lane as you're driving.
Sorry, you said something about Lucille Ball? Something?
I want to know what sewing machine she was sewing on in that. There's a very famous sewing episode.
I haven't seen it.
But now you reminded me of the time when I moved to Arizona. A friend of mine drove me there, and he fell asleep while driving on the 10 freeway in the middle of the desert. And if we were anywhere else in the United States of America, we would have crashed. But we were in the middle of the desert, so he literally just took off into the middle of darkness.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, we
Well,
all woke up, and we still laugh about it because he woke up, and me and my friend were like, ah.
I'm glad you didn't go over a butte or something.
It was just blind desert. We were more towards the Arizona side where it's just cactuses everywhere.
Because sometimes, like the road will be a little bit elevated and it's all desert flat off to the side, but it's like, a good like 15-20 foot drop down to the plateau.
That's more on the California side.
In
Okay. Arizona, the roads are a little bit different.
Oh, that's good. Whew.
They do have the dips. They do have the dips and the mediums, but you can take straight off into it.
Mm-hmm.
There's we have curbs in California.
So many times anyone else would have like died and you've come away relatively unscathed.
The only one that ever made me like think about reality was my car accident. That was the one that woke me up, and I drive slow. Every other time I was like, oh, this is an experience. The car accident, the last car accident I was in, people still talk about it. I still have my cowboy hat. That cowboy hat saved my life. And I was wearing my seatbelt, but I didn't realize the entire truck moved forward and the steering wheel got pushed up towards my face.
Oof.
And it would have snapped my neck if I wasn't wearing a cowboy, or I just didn't have a giant brim in front of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Good times. Good times. I told you it's never a boring day here in the house of sewing. We're a motley crew, but we get it done.
What are you figuring out, Alibaba? I missed something.
I'm gonna look that up really quick though.
What are you looking up?
Why did that happen? Come on, YouTube. We can't do two things at once. Oh, there we go. What sewing machine was Lucille Ball using? Oh, come on. Why does it never just tell me? Let's just go to images. The internet is so frustrating sometimes. That is such a good episode. Let's see if we can pull that up. It's, you know, I have to start this quest all over again. I feel like I've done this before.
Oh, to try and find the machine.
I'm being impatient right now because the other day I was reading something about it. Lucille Ball sewing machine. Oh, I don't think I can show that.
Alibaba said, "Oh, well, that's what you're figuring out." Lucille Ball's sewing machine. Alibaba says, Are you saying that the episode is called Lucy Wants New Furniture?
I can't remember because she makes an outfit in it. Lucille Ball sewing machine.
I think Alibaba is saying the episode is called Lucy Wants New Furniture.
Oh, okay. You know, and I don't know about any other country, but when I was a kid, and I'm sure it's still on TV, Lucy was on all the time.
Mm.
And it was kind of a default, and so I watched a lot of Lucille Ball. You can hear it in my lungs now. I was a sick kid. I was always home, and I watched a lot of Lucille Ball. And so I can get really geeky with a lot of the episodes because it was something I watched as a kid. I don't know why they changed this on Google. They used to have bigger pictures. Let me share this. But I miss when they had ginormous pictures for people like me who do not want to wear their glasses on YouTube. Can you see that?
There's a episode there 100 good heavens. 1 minute 40-second video on YouTube. I will put a link to it in the chat and you can pull it up. Paste.
This reminds
There we
me
go.
of the episode. Oh, that's not it. That's not.
Wait, you just had a picture of it right there.
Of this?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to know what machine that is, though, because I feel like I have one.
Well, maybe they'll show other. Maybe.
Yay! Happy! I think Carol figured out free Westinghouse sewing machine. I might have one. I have a bunch of old New Home and Westinghouse, but they're in the case, like they're hidden way back in there.
That big like dome on the back looks like a free Westinghouse kind of dome.
I think I might have that. The second I saw that, I was like, I think I have that. But let's be real, I have quite a few sewing machines in this room. That reminds me, somebody asked me to show my Morris from a really old video, and I need to remember where I put old Mr. Morris. Good times, though. That was a great episode. I Love Lucy is in my top 10. Absolutely. Do you know what? It's something I'll still watch. I guarantee you, because I have cable, I guarantee you if I perused around, I could find Lucy right now. A free Westinghouse sewing machine. Oh, that's awesome. I guarantee you it's one of those weird things. Excuse me. Now, whenever I see a sewing machine anywhere on anything, I play that game of what sewing machine is that? Aw, my son is so used to me on his birthday 2 years ago. We went to this really fancy, it's not Benihana's, but it's like a wannabe Benihana's where they cook the food in front of you. And it's like a really fancy one in my town. They have this huge koi pond. It has the conveyor belt of sushi. And in the corner, there was a sewing machine. And my son's like, hey, look. And I'm like, I'm so proud of you, boy. You know how to spot a sewing machine. It was an antique, too.
Nice.
It was an old white. But I think it's just part of their motif. It's just part of their look. It's part of their aesthetic.
Mm.
Because they want to paint it like it's like early 1900s Japanese style in this place. I like, I'm not one for one of those places they cook in front of you. They never give you enough food, but they had bomb sushi. I got stuffed. It was expensive. I ate like $90 of sushi that day.
Ooh.
It's expensive. That place was crazy expensive. And the guy even looked at me crazy because I didn't order anything on the thing. And I was like, I'll take some fried rice. And he's like, here. I'm not a fan of when they cook in front of you like that. That one runs a rubber wheel. I have quite a few like that in here. I need to get back into my antiques. Behind me, there is at least 45 to 50 antique sewing machines that all run that I need to re-review because I had less viewers 3 years ago when I amassed most of these. I've never seen a Benihana. It's just a really fancy place where someone cooks in front of you. I like the show. I love it when they get the onion and they get the flame and there's that weird volcano out of the onion. Love all of it. The food tastes great. It's never enough portions. It's never enough. I am a grown man. When I go to eat in a place like that, I expect to be like pushed out like in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, pushed out sideways, I love the Lucy Chocolate episode. I watch stuff like that when I'm having like when I'm completely just disassociating from society. I love the episodes when they move to the country. It's really weird. Lucy had a 90s sitcom before she passed away because she never stopped working. It's so weird to watch it. It's on YouTube. Every single episode's on YouTube. She's basically like a grandma that is living with a family and they kind of don't want her to live there because they're like, grandma's crazy. And then Lucy walks in and the audience is clapping like seals, That's my favorite episode. Lucy Lucy, there was episodes where Lucy and Ethel lived together when they had their apartment. That was the 80s version, I believe, or late 70s. I like the one where Lucy's pregnant, but Ricky's the one who has the morning sickness. I'm telling you, that show, like Ricky would get away with saying things that censors wouldn't necessarily let you say now, but he would just say them in Spanish. He taught me words in Spanish, and my mom would be like, do not say that out loud or around anyone where you don't want to get a dirty look. Do you think it was more because people really didn't know Spanish that he got away with saying, and it wasn't anything too vulgar, it was just it was something that you wouldn't have been able to say in English at that time?
Well, a lot of the censorship is advertisers. And so the advertisers weren't going to be upset about something that they couldn't understand. Like, who's going to complain?
Some of the things that he would say in Spanish, like you couldn't say in English to your other significant other nowadays. or the things that he say he would do to her.
Mm,
You couldn't say those in English or Spanish now. But because he was speaking a very open Spanish, if you go back and watch it, like some of the things he says, you're like, oh, wow. But this goes back to the conversation that we always have about, are you being served? I love that show, but some of those episodes are flat out like extreme. When Mr. Humphreys is a psychic, that whole episode is really racist.
mm,
So it is like it's one of those things. Where do you draw that line?
yeah. And it's hard too because a lot of times, something is like, oh, it's just a joke, but people use jokes to make serious points. And it's fine if you're like criticizing a problem, but then you get like the abusive times where it's just where people say it's just a joke, but the people, they know that they mean it. And so it's
Dixie, but it's also up to your tall. I'm not a person who would ever complain or be like, take this off the air. I love watching old school television. I still watch the Bob Newhart show. I still watch Good Times. I still watch Hawaii Five O because it's on a weird channel that I have. Archie Bunker is hard to watch, and it's still on television. His show is still on television. It's hard to watch.
it's hard too because I think that with Archie Bunker, that was kind of meant to be subversive because he was like not meant to be likable. He's saying these outrageous things and people are supposed to be saying, oh, he's terrible.
Yeah,
We
you're a
laugh
bad
at
human.
him, but and then sometimes we have to make sure that we're not judging the past by modern standards. Because yes, there were some things that were that offensive then just as they are now, but then sometimes there was other terminology and other there were different levels of acceptability and expectation. And so something we might consider it racist now, but nobody thought it was racist then or misogynistic or whatever.
I was watching this movie when Sammy Davis Jr. was a Buffalo Soldier. It's not like the Joan Crawford movie where I turned it off a half an hour into it. I was like, "Oh my god, I can't watch this. What is this?" But it got hard to watch after a while. But it's
Mm-hmm.
because of of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yes, Dixie. I live in the LA County. I have at least 6 channels that still show all the old school stuff from Opie. I can hear the from literally like anything you could think of. The Rifleman, Gunsmoke, all of it is still on TV here. All of it. What is the one with Jackie Gleason? Oh, The Honeymooners. That's I you know it's so funny. I watched that, but it's weird to me because it's so grainy. It's like traveling back in time. I
Mm.
actually like The Honeymooners. It's on every Friday and Saturday if you live in the LA area on KDOC or whatever it is, channel 16 if you have Spectrum. But again, it's just because it's so foreign to me. I sit there and I'm like, it's so foreign to me. And if you think about it, they live in the hood. He's a bus driver. His friend isn't rich. Like they're just average people.
Mm-hmm.
The Honeymooners, it's still on. I still watch it. I'll send you to the moon, Alice. Absolutely. Man, where I'm from, if you said that to somebody now, you'd be on probation. Absolutely, yes. I have all 4 seasons of Gunsmoke. So I need you guys to talk me out of something, and I'm glad we came to this point in the conversation. Should I not spend $60 and buy all 4 seasons of Alf?
I have no comment. It depends. I mean, it
That's a
depends on
no.
how much you like Alf. If you love Alf, then you should get Alf.
Like I told you when you and I were talking, like I was watching the earlier seasons, I was like, I don't remember any of this. And I looked and I was like, there's a reason why I don't remember any of it. But the older seasons, I remember it because it was always on television. I mean, like always on television. Gomer Pyle, yeah, all of that. If you live in, like, at least where I live, they have a bunch of channels that just show all the old school stuff. On the Family when the Jeffersons moved next door. They show that episode a lot. I loved Gunsmoke. Your money to do as you please. I agree. But I had this talking with myself the other day when I was at Walmart and I looked at it and I was like, do you want this or are you here because you're bored? That was the conversation because I like to peruse.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'll be driving home and I'm like, well, I live within 4 minutes of a Walmart. Let's go to Walmart. And I'm already tired. I've already spent a bunch of money, and I'm like, I'm gonna go to Walmart. And I'm gonna say this as someone who collects DVDs, I was really shocked at the lack of even Blu-rays they had. Do people, and I'm saying this as a dinosaur who does not leave the house. I'm literally leaving my house like besides going to downtown, I'm kind of a hermit because I have a low immune system and I can't be around people because y'all don't wash your hands. And I love you, but some of you guys don't wash your hands. No one here. Everyone here washes their hands. But I don't know. I kind of want to buy Alf. Ironside, Matlock. I watched the original when I lived in Oregon. I had rabbit ears, and I became obsessed with the original Perry Mason. And Paramount Plus has it. I have watched every episode in order now. Oh, I can hear the music. Da na na, da na na na. Such good music.
I do like having physical media because otherwise you go to watch something and suddenly it's not available on any channel, or it's available on one channel but not the other, and you're like, okay, how many channels do I have to pay for? I'm already got this one to watch this other stuff. So
Thank you. Thank you. I'm the same way, and I'm tactile. I want to like right now. I have Paris is Burning in a portable DVD player right there, and I walk around with it. And then I'll get another DVD and put it in there. Like I'm tactile.
mm-hmm.
And sometimes I hang out with my son, but I don't like what he's watching. That's why we have such an extensive collection of headphones in this house. So I want to, I'll be in the same room with him, but I'll be watching my DVD player while he's watching like a fight or something. I have hand sanitizer too,
Me
but
too.
it's different. At my job, like we have like hygiene is key. So they like when you walk in, they're like, yeah, here, hi, nice to meet you. Here's a jug of hand sanitizers. We're gonna make more and give you more in a month. So use all of that.
I make my own.
I think in the future that's going to be the only way. And quite honestly, as sewists, I think we're 9 steps ahead of the future because I think in the future people are going to be making their clothes or coming to people like us who know how to.
You think that the large commercial fashion industry is going to go away?
They've over inundated the market so much they've basically made themselves useless. They're burning clothes in the Gobi Desert. I'm buying fast fashion now. We are hitting every segment tonight. I recently purchased this, and I know I have a problem. Okay, let's just welcome to my so-called life. I know you do, but I bought yet another fast fashion jacket that has these weird. I will say this every single time. It is amazing to me how they will use $1 million laser to put holes in a $5 jacket.
That looks like the same pattern as the other one. Is that the same brand as the darker gray one you had on Saturday or whatever day it was?
I'll check, but no, I don't think it is. But let's be real. They all come from the same place. So I guarantee you, these probably sat in the same room and were lasered together, probably. My band-aids are, and with band-aids and hydrogen peroxide, I have a Vino. I grow a really large amount of aloe vera at my house. I can't believe I just admitted that online. I do. I grow a large amount, and that stuff works, even on old scars. And I'm not a, like, yes, the older I get, I'm turning into a hippie.
That's not a criminal enterprise.
No, but like I grow a lot of food. I'm not a preacher. I don't like to tell people what to do in their life. Like, but I grow a lot of food. I grow aloe vera. I have mint wild growing, and I took a piece and I put it in my backyard, so now it's growing even more wild in my backyard. I have potatoes, chili peppers. Well, imagine poking yourself with a metal object covered in old rancid whale oil on my oh. I recently got my re-up on a tetanus shot, so I'm ready for sketchy stuff.
Mm,
Kidding.
I haven't had a tetanus shot in a long time.
The doctor was like, "You're hardcore. Your tetanus shot ran out," and walked up to me and was like, "Blah, there you go. You just got a tetanus shot." But to be fair, I get sick all the time, and I do have a hardcore job, so I needed it. But I don't know what to do with this. This is yet another thing. I'm going to cut the sleeves off. I plan on doing it tonight. I don't see why we shouldn't. But my whole point, I might put the angel wings on this and just call it art.
You know what you could do? You could cut the sleeve off and then put an insert of some other fabric and sew the sleeve back on. That could be interesting.
My silence is not me objecting.
It's
It's
not?
me thinking. No, it's me. The hamster looked at you for a minute and it was like maybe, and then it kept running again on that giant wheel in my head. I like that idea, maybe. But I just want to look like I'm an electric boogaloo. I want to look like Shabby Doo because I was obsessed with those movies.
You could deconstruct it and how it has different different panels, the two back panels, the different front panels. You could take some of those out and replace them with other fabric. That could be interesting. Or I guess just cut one to size and sew it on top. Then you don't have, but
You tripped me out because I think they do have the laser marks in the exact same space.
it looked like it.
Because I had to cut around them to keep the integrity so there's not just this like gaping hole in the shoulder. Maybe I like and the sad thing is I still have that really ratty one that is so ratty I haven't even touched it because I don't know what to do with it. But again, this is the new stuff that is in like I'm not paying full price for this. I'm getting this for in dollar piles, $3 piles. I'm negotiating at the swap meet, and this stuff is relatively speaking brand new. And it's already over inundating the market and just completely clogging the market.
Mm-hmm.
That was the best segue we've had all evening. I forgot about that thing. But I think I'm just gonna sew all the vests at once. And I'm still on the quest for a black vest.
Why don't you make one?
That's what started the whole fight. Do you remember when that guy wouldn't sell me the black denim in downtown and I had a meltdown? I got in my car and screamed, "Why?"
You could make a vest out of that dark gray denim that you were thinking about making the jacket out of. You've got a lot of it.
Watch a video of how to repair the holes in denim. They literally look as if there was no hole at all. I like mending though. I'm really big. Like I'm okay with looking like Willie Nelson's illegitimate child. I love mending. I like. See, here's the thing. I think it's because my grandfather was an extremely like three-piece suit kind of guy. Like he was always well dressed. Even in when he retired, he would always wear suspenders and a white shirt, and then he would like put a nice coat over that. My pops dressed like two steps up from a homeless guy. Oh, he was the denim warrior, and I think I'm like somewhere in between that. My grandfather and my father. Because I like getting dressed up. I actually have. You would be shocked if you saw like the amount of really nice clothes that I have. I just choose to dress like a hobo. They've recently taken the new Sheen product to an incinerator to make electricity. I think it was in Germany.
The trouble with that though is it's plastic. It so because it's all like a lot of it is like polyester, and so then you're sending all these toxic fumes out. I'm not sure.
So I'm not
Tough call.
defending it. I'm not defending it, but there is ways to distribute every fume. There
Good.
are ways to literally pick out every element of that. That's how they have those. It's a complicated thing, but they call them cakes that they put them on the stacks of the old nuclear power plants. There are ways to celebrate that, to separate the elements, to
Well,
make it
that's
less
good.
deadly. Twin, Wonder Twin.
So, Kilroy, what do you feel good in when you want to dress up? Let's all talk about that. What do you like to wear when you want to dress up and look snazzy?
I've seen others do it as well. Downtown Taylor. I am looking for an outside the box, or I might. I could take it apart and use that yellow denim. I did want to make a vest with that yellow denim. A
Yeah.
long time ago, I passed on a really funky vest because I thought it was like it was too funky for me. I don't know. I was having a bad morning. I don't know. But I always regret not buying it.
Mm.
I feel weird wearing a suit. It does not fit my personality. Do you know what's funny? I don't like wearing collared shirts, but I wear vests all day long, and I feel naked if I don't have a collar on. Like today, it was 70 something. And I had to have a talk with myself when I was leaving. I was like, bro, you don't have to wear a vest. It's not that serious. And I walked out. I still walked out with long sleeve on though, and it was 76 degrees when I left. They burn water bottles in the same plant. They have scrubbers.
Mm. And then some will do like they take the plastic and they melt it down and they make pellets for mats and all kinds of stuff like that too.
I'm too much of a bull in a china shop for snazzy. That's I'm like that with white or extremely light colors because I always have like oil of something on my hands. I'm like scared to wear white.
I don't know though. There's different snazzy for everybody. I started watching videos about the Kibbe body types, and it's really fascinating because a lot of times in fashion they'll say, oh, everyone should look like this, and if you don't have this shape, then this is what you do to get that shape or whatever. Whereas the Kibbe body type system, it's working with the shape you have and making the most out of what you have and embracing that, and then you look more harmonious. And so maybe you need to just work with your bull in china shop vibes. You can still look snazzy and be a bull in a china shop.
I'll check it out. She does that fix the same way, almost like reweaving the denim. Oh, I'm gonna have to definitely check that out. I rewatched the stream and go back and click on everything. So And our co-host can sit here and attest to that I do, because I'm always like, oh, did I really do that? Oh, look at my face. Like I critique my face. I'm like, did I say that? Yes, I think she's in Toronto.
Are we talking about downtown Taylor? I like downtown Taylor.
It's Michael's.
Oh, sorry.
Kitty is half
What
a
the
cult.
heck? Well, you can go go cultish with it, or you can embrace the principles and put your own expression on it.
I'm smelling cold. I'm smelling like Judge
Well,
Judy said, if you have to explain it, it's probably a lie or a cult. I'm kidding.
I think that sometimes, because Kibby will say, oh, like there's I like to watch Ellie Jean Royden. I think she explains it nicely, because you can, Kibby might say, oh, if you're this body type, then you should wear these lines, or if you're this body type, you should wear these lines. And a lot of times people are like, well, but what do I do if my personal taste and style is such and such? And so you can say, okay, your personal taste and style is such and such, and so this is how you achieve that look with the body type you have, so that you get the effect you want without without ending up looking ridiculous or something that just doesn't go.
I'm
So
not even like saying this, like I'm really big on that, because my body's changed and I've accepted it. And I wear certain things that like where I'm from, I know people that are the exact same size as I am, but they think they can still wear a medium shirt. And then the bottom half of your stomach is popping out, or they're constantly pulling on. It's like, bro, it's okay to wear a large or an extra large. Like, it's okay. Like, accept your size. Like, I'm in my 40s, I was shocked when I graduated from a large to extra large, because I was the same size for so long. I know there's people who say I shouldn't accept my size, but I'm okay with it.
well, there's a difference between accepting your size and embracing the body you have, and giving up on life and letting everything go. So you can say, oh, I'm working on being healthy, I want to be the best me I can be, but in the meantime, this is what I look like now, and I'm going to make the most of it.
I'm still extremely active, so I don't have that built-in guilt. and also, it's different for me because I was bone skinny my entire life. Every single person who came across me would say something. So I had a complex in the opposite direction, where it wasn't because I was big, it was because I was a stick. And so because I was a stick, the more weight I gained, I'm like, oh, I feel better about myself, because I was 160 to 170 pounds until I hit 40, and people thought I was a teenager. That used to drive me crazy. I'd be like, I'm 40 years old.
I understand. I think I said I was at Olive Garden with my mom and my coworker, and not Olive Garden, I'm sorry, Macaroni Grill. And you know how they used to have like the wine jugs with the honor system on the table?
Oh, yeah.
They brought 2 glasses, and then when they were taking our order, they asked, what we wanted to drink, and they told me like some sodas, and I'm like, do you have anything that's not soda? And she said, oh, well, we have blah blah blah. And I'm like, may I have a coffee? And she looked like I could have knocked her over. And at the time, I was like, I don't know, 28. I was not 13 or something that should shock anybody with me drinking coffee, but
Exactly.
she couldn't handle it. She's like, who is this child?
Oh, I like this. Bodies are not like oh, I totally saw Mindy and it threw me off. Bodies are not like jobs. You can't dress for the body you want. You have to dress for the one you have. Damn right. How's it going, Mindy? Hello, hello. How are you doing? Hello, hello.
Hello.
Yay, hello. It's true. I had to accept it. And the older I get, it is what it is. But I like my weight gain.
I
It's
don't
weird.
like mine.
See, that's what I'm saying. Everybody's different. You have to accept who you are. But and then you know what? This is nothing that I wouldn't say to myself. Absolutely, this is nothing that I wouldn't say to myself. At least half of my opinion of options at the restaurants are based on their coffee. I'm weird. I'm not a coffee snob. I'll drink Narcotics Anonymous coffee, McDonald's coffee. Like, I don't care if it's day old.
Be gone, troglodyte.
Thank you, Mindy. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not judgy like that. I'll drink Folgers. Like, I'm weird.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll drink espresso or French press or mocha pot.
Boosh. Boosh, McBoosh, McBoosh. See, I'd be out there with a camping stove.
You can make good coffee on a camp stove.
The best bomb. The best stuff ever on a camping stove. Have you ever seen Neanderthal with a 29-inch waist? Oh, that takes me back to the good old days when you could drag your knuckles and no one judged you. I'm the same way with coffee. I'm not a snob in that sense. I don't care. And a few people, I don't care if it's swag or if it's bad or good. I don't care.
My friend, now I do have an espresso machine for convenience sometimes, but I had a friend over and I asked him, what kind he wanted. And he's looking and he was asking, oh, is this and this is this. And he pulled out one and it was the one that's like $2 a pod. And I'm like, oh no, don't drink that one. It was my last one of the fancy coffee. Don't have that
You know
one.
what's really funny? My son is he drinks that fancy Keurig stuff.
I like the Nespresso better than the Keurig. It's got, like high pressure and gives a better extraction. I prefer, the French press and all of that, but sometimes I'm tired. But so I do like the Nespresso better than say drip coffee. Ooh, Alibaba said I had Blue Mountain 2 weeks ago. Nice. Oh, you have a Bodum and you have a Corning coffee boiler. Do you have the Sunbeam A30? That's the original. They call it a percolator, but it's different than like the percolators that look like a big jug. It's like a vacuum coffee maker. I think we've talked about this before. That makes some fab coffee.
There's a cricket in the hallway that is just begging to be found. And I'm over the crickets. They're not good luck. If they're not special, they're not anything except for invaders and yelling.
See, you need to go in the yard and recruit a couple lizards.
Oh, when my son was younger, we named the lizard Fred, but Fred had babies. That thing got huge because it was just eating crickets. That's when my house was quiet. That's when I was like, yeah, this thing. And people would freak out. They'd walk in the house. They'd be like, dude, did you just see that giant lizard? I'd be like, that lizard filled out a W-2. That lizard lives here. It's background check filled out. Like, nah, like we're But it's getting hot, so I might recruit another house lizard.
I got the glass carafe I ordered from a seller on eBay, the glass carafe for the Sunbeam A30. And they put it in the box with the very heavy base, and they didn't put the carafe in its own little box. And it was, carefully wrapped in bubble wrap, but it's essentially, a glass globe. And the base, it crushed it. The glass just arrived in a bunch of pieces, carefully wrapped in bubble wrap.
That's the worst. That, that is the exact reason why I am not sitting here with that, with the world's largest coffee cup, because they have the world's largest complaint. I read the reviews. I've learned to read the reviews, and you know what? If people complain enough, I'll be like, you know what? Maybe the crowd has spoken. Because I'm anti living by committee, but sometimes you have to be like, hey, the committee says this product's crummy. I don't want it. No, I don't need some crap. I want that cup so bad. And there's people that they have pictures. There's the very famous picture of this woman. She put it on her head. She has hair. That's how big. There was nothing in the cup, but the cup, she put it on as a helmet. And she's like, I have a big head and I have hair.
Good gracious.
On the mat, it's I think it's 10 by 12 or something. Or I have to look up the dimensions because I have the mat right in front of me while I'm ordering stuff. I've learned to put a mat in front of me so I don't order another embarrassing tiny tiny cutting mat.
Step 2 in this process is recognizing when it's in inches and when it's in centimeters.
Do you know, I can't remember what it was today. There was something, it was the burlap. I was so embarrassed. First off, I'm going to make something in burlap because I didn't realize how fancy they have gotten in burlap. And at Walmart, they have these burlap sections, and it was in centimeters, and I was like, what is that in yards? I'm such an American. Oh my God. I was embarrassed. I'm going to come back. I left my cell phone in the car. I'm going to come back with my phone, and I'm going to convert it because I need a lot. In order to make something, you need a good amount,
Divide by 5 and multiply by 2.
Yeah, I'd have to write that down. I'm gonna walk up with a piece of paper.
Well, it's roughly 5 centimeters for 2 inches.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna have to buy a lot then. Actually, no, it's 133 centimeters because I have a crazy memory.
Okay, so divide by 5. And then multiply by 2.
I'll save everyone the drama of me asking my A word, the math, because I really don't even want to think. This isn't the future we asked for, but this is the future we get. Do you know, if you told me 10 years ago I would be sitting here talking to my phone tap, wearing a bright yellow sweatshirt, I would tell you you're crazy, but we're here. Well, I'd never seen an American go to a store and be confronted by metric. That isn't American. Well, Walmart gets products from around the world. They buy massive units of stuff. They could care less where it came from if they could put a price tag on it and roll it out. But burlap is one of those things that, when I was a kid, they were wearing a burlap sack was like a threat, and an old tale they would tell people to scare them,
Sorry, I was distracted looking at a comment. What are we scaring with burlap sacks? What?
No, I'm going to make something out of burlap.
Okay.
But because I couldn't do the math, and also, let's be real, I was by myself. It was a Saturday. I was smoking in my car. Okay. I was smoking in the boys' room. All right. Smoking in the boys. So when I walked in there, I was more in a cruising frame of mind than ready to do math. Oh, that's so funny. I just got an email from Starbucks because my phone's listening. Oh, that's funny. All right. How long have we been going? We've been going for a while. This has been an amazing stream. I would like to welcome everybody who came from Rashawn's channel, everybody who subscribed lately. I'm grateful. I am absolutely humbled at the amount of people who want to watch me just absolutely geek out on YouTube, and I thank you. I don't even have anything. I don't have bravado for that one. I am just humbled, and I absolutely thank everyone. Under the influence. But I always say I'm not going to, but I'll be back at it on Wednesday. Even for an hour or two. I'll be back at it on Wednesday. Do you have anything you'd like to shill?
No, nothing for me today.
It's been a great stream. You know what? I'll see you guys on Wednesday. I'm working on a bunch of stuff. I have a project that I'm a weird hack that I might make a short for. So I don't want to bring it up because I'm gonna make a short for it. Thank you, Dixie. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Joy, Alibaba, everybody that was here tonight. And from the beginning to the end, I thank everybody. It's been absolute fun tonight. Oh, jinx, Alibaba, and I said the same thing at the same time. It has been absolute fun. I'll be back at it on Wednesday. I hope everybody has a great day tomorrow. Until then, like I always say, reinforce your seams, be yourself, and I will definitely see you next time. Bye.
Bye.